Good day, my darling oddities, and welcome to Otter Space, the part of your brain that makes you think it's okay to buy a 5 pound bag of gummy bears. This is broadcast from outer space, and I'm your host, Otter. Today I'm here with a very special guest, and that guest is, of course, a 5 pound bag of gummy bears. Nah, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. The special guest today is the bell in a shell who's just swell Toluca Turtle.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Toluca, thanks for coming on out. How are you today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Oh, I'm living the dream as I always am. So, Toluca, why don't we go ahead and start the show by having you tell our guests just a little bit about yourself?
All right. I am a streamer on Twitch. My name is Toluca Jermaine Turtelli, but everyone knows me as Toluca Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
I primarily stream games, but I talk about the paranormal sometimes because I love ghosts and cryptids and all that stuff. I also talk about things like publishing because I'm a poet and I've been writing poetry for the last 2.5 decades or so.
Very nice, very
And
nice.
yep, and I do crafting and just a bunch of stuff. So
All right, Toluca. So, you mentioned doing things with the paranormal and cryptid and such. Uh, I had a different Pokemon based question for today, but as you saw in my last episode, which by the way, Toluca and Mega Dango really saved my bacon in that premiere episode. So first of all, Toluca, what did you think of the premiere?
the premiere actually was excellent, I thought. I loved learning more about you, seeing your
Oh.
coffee based resins and all that other fun stuff.
Well, in the early parts of that stream, I was trying to talk to a mirror of myself, and it was not going well at all. It's the ultimate rejection when you bore yourself to death. Um, so I ended up throwing that mirror across the room and moving on to this rambling. And Toluca and Megadango were in my chat, and they gave me an anchor point, a place to talk to, a person to talk to, and kind of keep the things rolling because I was spiraling rather quickly.
It
Um,
is difficult to keep a conversation with yourself going and keep it entertaining.
well, that's the thing. If I'm alone in a room talking to myself, oh, it's perfectly natural, perfectly okay. But when I'm trying to do it for an audience, suddenly the other part of myself is like, nah, I don't think this is right. And it's like, you should have thought of that in therapy. Uh, oh God. Fun fact about therapy: I failed out of therapy. Um, and I think it's because my therapist had a Barney purple sedan. I could not take the guy seriously. He drove a Barney purple sedan.
I would have absolutely loved to drive that though. I love purple, so that would have been amazing. For me, I would have been like, you have my spirit inside of you and you will fix all of my problems or give me 20 more and I don't know which one and I don't care.
A little bit of both, but you know what? In his defense, I still remember his name. So that's something that means he made an impact. But a younger Otter is just like, I don't think I can trust my innermost secrets with the man that drives the Barney mobile.
He either made an influence on you or you're holding a grudge and are going to look up where he lives later on in life. You never know.
I only remember his first name, and his first name's also the same name as one of my uncles, so probably won't get too far with it. And somebody I used to work with, now that I think about it. Hmm.
Ah,
But anywho's, yeah, no, see, this thing it was like just straight up Barney purple. If you drew green spots on it, you would have had a Barney mobile. It was crazy, and it's
that would have been fantastic.
like that and juice boxes is all I really remember from therapy. So yeah, no, I was kind of I was the no snitch guy from the mafia, when whenever you see a mafia cartoon or whatever, it's like I'm not telling you nothing.
You
You
got
n-
juice boxes and therapy? Oh, heck.
yeah, I don't remember it was kind of a weird there was juice boxes and graham crackers, and I don't know why that's what I remember from therapy, but so juice boxes and graham crackers, and it was like a group. There was a group. Um, because after years of being thrown into the ocean and nearly drowning, I needed some. My grandparents, when they took me in, thought the people I call my grandparents thought I needed some help, and Well, I don't think this particular therapist specialized in otters, But
Yeah, that's always a problem. They think one size fits all, and it really doesn't.
yeah, no, exactly. Um, but yeah, it was a group therapy session, and all I remember from it is, well, I was convinced that these little plastic yellow rings, you know the ones. I'm sure you've seen. They're just like the standard issue kid toy. They're the plastic rings that you stack up
Right.
on the stick, right?
Yep, I think so.
I was convinced the yellow one was a power ring from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, that would have been actually a lot more fun for that toy.
And I was convinced that this yellow power ring would make me run faster because all the games had to do with like solving little problems by running from one end to the other. I think they were really just trying to get the kids' energy out, and I was a low energy otter, so I don't think he really planned for that. But I was convinced that the yellow power ring was the way that would I would run faster than the kids in the program.
Did you ever consider like taking it home with you? Like, oh, here's my power ring now.
It would be funny if I still had that, right? Just feel like this is my prized possession, the yellow power ring I stole from my childhood therapist. No, no, I didn't. I don't steal, Otter. It's not nice, Otter. I'm from the ocean, people. Come on, I got to fight to survive. My parents tried to drown me. Now
But you're only semi-aquatic though.
well, aquatic by breeding, not aquatic by nature. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely,
That
definitely.
that whole nature versus nurture argument, like I don't know how well stained glass shells would do well in the ocean. So
Nope, I am a land turtle, and people don't realize this, but my legs are not flippers. So no, I'm land, firmly on land.
and please forgive me. I don't want to get myself canceled over the turtley question, but isn't a turtle with feet a tortoise?
Not always.
Not always. Okay, I genuinely don't know my turtle bit physiology, so.
It's one of the. I keep forgetting if it's not all tortoises are turtles, but all turtles are tortoises, or if it's the other way around. It's one
Okay.
of the other.
Gabrielle the Ghost Gamer has joined us. Hi, Gabrielle. How are you? Welcome to Otter Space, the part of your brain that makes you think it's okay to buy a 5-pound bag of gummy bears.
Hi, Gabrielle.
And also, this is how I find out that OBS does not pick up the YouTube chat. That's interesting.
Oh,
That's okay,
yeah.
though. I have the YouTube studio open in another window, so that's how I saw Gabrielle's comment. She
Oh,
says,
thank
sounds
goodness.
powerful. I'm not sure which part sounds powerful. Maybe the yellow ring or the 5-pound bag of gummy bears. I don't know. Maybe a gold.
Hopefully, they're not sugarless. I have heard stories.
No, no, no. Fun fact, fun otter lore here, folks. Otter is allergic, speaking to himself in third person, but I am allergic to artificial sweeteners, specifically aspartame.
A lot of
Uh,
people are, but they only find out they don't have a tolerance for it when they eat it. So,
yeah, so it's not something you really not they don't really test for it. I don't think I ever got allergy tested though. Hmm. But I found out thanks to Pepsi of all things. Um,
oh,
Well, so for a while I was trying to be a good otter and stay away from the sugary things, ignore the 5-pound bag of gummy bears on my desk. I was trying to stay away from sugary things, so I was like, oh well, I should drink diet sodas. And one day I was actually no, it was Coke originally that I found out, and then Pepsi played the old switcheroo on me. Um, and so I started drinking Diet Coke regularly, and I felt like crap and I couldn't figure it out. Nothing made sense to me why I felt this way. And then finally, I put two and two together. Well, I've been drinking an awful lot of Diet Coke lately, and kind of did a little digging. It's like, well, did you know that people that are allergic to aspartame have these symptoms? Like, oh god damn it, Coke.
almost did by the Pepsi Corporation.
Yeah, so that would have been funny. This information brought to you by Pepsi. But no, so Pepsi played its own trick on me though, because around the time that was happening, the Pepsi was like, oh, well, new diet Pepsi with no aspartame, and I'm like, heck yeah, there we go, a diet soda I can drink without dying, fantastic. and going along just fine, drinking Diet Pepsi for a couple months at that point. And it didn't really, it was kind of meh. So I didn't drink it a lot, but when I felt like a soda, sometimes you just feel like a soda. I had Diet Pepsi, but then one day I'm like, okay, well I feel like a soda, and it's been a while, and so I grabbed myself a Diet Pepsi, and I'm drinking my Diet Pepsi, and I'm working at my desk at the time, and la di da di da, and I start feeling like shit. And I was like, what the heck is going on? Why do I suddenly feel like garbage? And then my eyes just happened to fall upon the can of Pepsi on my desk, and in tiny little white letters on a white can, so you can't really even see them, it says, now with classic recipe. I'm like, you son of a. And I turned around, sure enough, they added the aspartame back, and I was like, son of a bitch, come on.
You know, when they usually say like original recipe, they mean like they go back to basics where you have like all the nice flavors or real sugar, and they're like, nope, it's this type of poison,
Yep, yep.
not that type of poison. You get the classic poison.
So now I don't trust any kind of diet stuff, because
Understood.
I may end up being fat if I eat too many gummy bears, but at least they won't actively try to kill me. Passively try to kill me.
I'm now just picturing like little gummy bears with like little tiny knives and
Oh my
like
lord.
grenade launchers, like they're trying to kill me.
Why would you give me that nightmare?
It's the gummy bear army, Otter. They're coming for you in 5 flavors.
Just the stomping of the gummy bears down the road. The gummy
Yep.
bears go marching one by one. Hurrah, hurrah. Okay, that's terrifying.
Well, we're
Uh,
back to that teddy bear's picnic, Otter.
oh jeez, no. And I don't even think it's the song that I'm thinking of, but I make no secret of it. I'm terrified of animatronics and mascot costumes and all that. So when FNAF came out, it was like nightmare fuel for me.
Yeah,
And when Freddy Fazbear attacks you, there's a song he plays, and I don't think it's Teddy Bear Picnic. I think it's, I don't know what it is, but for some reason my brain auto, like you say Teddy Bear Picnic, and my brain auto plays that song.
I should give you a teddy bear picnic in DM someday. That way you can hear the song.
Yeah, it's probably not even the same song I'm thinking of, and that's the thing. But it's what plays on auto whenever I hear that in my brain, which it doesn't make it right. It just makes it slightly diseased. You know what I mean?
So every time I say teddy bear picnic, it's like a Pavlovian response to
Yes,
you.
my mouth waters and I'm terrified.
Yeah, I get you. Okay.
Sorry, I just thinking of how weird that sounded. My mouth
No,
waters when
no.
I'm terrified.
Well, the original thing was gummy bears, like gummy bears coming to kill you. So you can have mouth-watering, terrifying things happen.
Well, maybe that's why I insist on eating all of the gummy bears, because better get them before they get me.
And then as you scream, like the saliva like flies all over, and yeah.
The less we talk about my saliva, probably the better. Okay, all right. So I had started a thought earlier, and then it kind of fell away from me, and my brain went towards therapy as it usually does, or at least it usually should. Um, and I started a question, but then I immediately derailed myself and moved down a different path. Uh, so you mentioned being into cryptids, and I usually I like, I don't say usually because I've only done one episode of this so far, and it was with myself. Um, so I'd like to have like a Pokemon based questions, especially since right now is the Pokemon Splatfest on Splatoon, which anybody that's watching us today is holding out or watching us alongside the Splatfest. So hello, thank you, go Team Grass. Um, and but yeah, so the new Pokemon game's coming out, and you had mentioned being into cryptids. So my Pokemon question for you is, what Pokemon do you think would be the most horrifying cryptid in real life?
Oh my goodness, that is a great question.
Thank you, I try.
Uh, okay, so we're talking cryptids. So like Mimikyu is already a ghost and terrifying by her itself.
Mm-hmm.
So that wouldn't matter. I'm trying to stay away from like the ghost type Pokemon
Yeah,
because
yeah,
they have their own. Yeah.
yeah. They're already basically, so the non ghost type Pokemon. What would be like?
Oh.
Like, did you just for example, like Lapras would be like the Loch Ness monster, for example, but is that really
Oh, that
scary?
would be lovely, actually, but
Well, and that's why I'm
no.
saying that's not really a good example of terrifying, but that's kind of the line I'm thinking is.
Like, I would say, well, Garchomp would be pretty terrifying.
Oh, you stepping into dangerous territory only because I really Gartomp's one of my favorite Pokemon. Don't judge me. Um, but yeah, you
Say
are right
from
though.
like, yeah, just from like the look and like the size and yeah, I'm trying to think like that would be terrifying.
Now
I
can
would not want to see a Skarmory.
Skarmory, yeah, the Steel Bird, yeah, that'd be pretty
Y-
scary.
Yeah, like because a lot of like cryptids come with like urban lore or urban legends where they have they follow your children or when you're out in the woods alone they find you or yeah, so we're going to like anything that's too big we're already taking off the table. I hate any giant bug. So like
Uh, the
the
Steel, yeah,
giant yeah, the giant bug Pokemon would be awful, like Ninjask and like
Shedinja would be quite the like almost an SCP because do you know some of the lore about Shedinja?
yes.
Yeah, where if you look into the hole on its back, you lose your soul.
Yeah, so there are like so many Pokemon. Like so many of them are like cute and sweet and like it's like okay, for alligator. I don't want to see like an alligator in real life, but like people live among alligators and it's kind of like, "Oh, okay, it's an alligator." And then you have like the fluffy pink ones or like Ampharos who even though I wouldn't want to get electrocuted with Amphi, obviously it looks adorable, so like it's fine. And then you get like the ones that are kind of like on the seedier side of Pokemon, like
Yep.
Game Freak's like, we're on the wrong side of the tracks here, just making a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And you're like, okay. And they're like, go down this dark alleyway, kid. And you're like trying to figure out like where the heck everything is. And all of a sudden, like this 85,000 pound thing with like 18 heads is there. And it's like, it's an electric type. And you're like, are you sure about that?
I'm
Because like
terrified.
yeah, there should be like a flesh type. Like I know that's technically normal, but like I'm seeing sort of like the Cenobite stuff from like Hellraiser, and I'm no 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 no.
Oh, geez. Now, you know what? Now I'm going to be thinking of every normal type Pokemon as a flesh type Pokemon. And
You're
that put,
welcome.
uh, I'm late. Now I'm burdened with that thought. Great. So now
I w-
Clefairy is the flesh Pokemon.
was thinking of like Executor and stuff, so you're welcome. You're very much welcome
Well,
for
that's a
that.
grass type Pokemon. I mean, it's already terrifying because if you think about it, at least they execute like they're just eggs with faces and mouths, right? Like if they eat something, where does the food go? Like, do you crack them open, scramble them up, and like if you want to make a good omelet ahead of time, you just feed and execute like a pepper or something, and then you crack them open, and you got yourself a pepper omelet.
I don't know, but I'm just thinking about like to me, it's like more like coming across like almost three like heads that aren't like severed, but they're just kind of there
Ooh,
and living, and I'm just like, no, thank you.
ooh, that would be a horrifying version of execute if it was just yeah, if it's just like a trio, like how many eggs are in execute? Like five or six, something
But
like that.
in one form they have three. I know that, or I thought that.
I don't know. Doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's actually a horrifying thought if you're just walking in the field and you suddenly see like a group of heads just rolling together, just like laying there. Hi,
Yeah,
execute, and then they
exactly,
roll
and
away, and you're like, well,
yeah,
that's
there's
it
no
for
blood,
me.
no neck. They're just kind of there, and it's like, yeah, I don't think so. I think if they were some type of like cryptid or urban legend, it would be a really really dark one.
Hmm. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. That would be horrifying. Like it's just a group of heads that roll around and like oh, so to play into the grass type thing, they like plant seeds or something in you or something, or they grow new heads, plants, and you're like, it's a cabbage, and it opens up, it's just a head,
Right.
and you're like,
Or
well,
they like try to grow a body, but they can never quite manage it. So what happens is they're left half formed, and
ooh,
I go down dark alleyways with this. So
yeah,
like,
no,
yeah,
I asked the question. I led myself into it. Oh, plot twist. The bodies that fail to form on and execute and fall off, they're just oddities.
Oh my god, that
We
would be. We have a whole different set of lore here now.
yeah, we're building out the dark universe of Pokemon. But joking aside, think about living in the Pokemon universe. It would be horrifying.
You know, as a kid, I thought it would be the most amazing thing because you could go out and explore and have all these buddies and friends, but like, a lot of the things people don't take into account are like even the sheer size of some of these creatures, and it's like it would be like living among the dinosaurs,
Yeah,
but worse
yeah. So
because like T-Rex can electrocute you.
T-Rex is back with a revenge.
Exactly. It would be terrifying. It would be scary. There would be no building sturdy enough to like keep like all the really large ones away from you.
Right. And so you and I have played Monster Hunter a lot together. So I often think about like a Monster Hunter Pokemon crossover.
Oh,
Like
I thought about that too. That would be pretty amazing.
I remember back when I played Monster Hunter World concurrent with Sword and Shield, I think it was. And I kept thinking to myself every time I see Pikachu, it's like, how many of them do I need to kill to get a full set of lightning resistance gear? Hmm. Hmm. I'm positive there's somebody out there that makes like art of Monster Hunter armor sets, but based off of Pokemon.
I think that would like terrify a lot of people or like make them really sad. Cause could you imagine like your favorite Pokemon turned into like a cod piece or like a vest or something? It would not feel good for a lot of people. Like if I saw people using like Turtwig shell as a shield, I would just be like, "You did what to my child?"
No, no, no. Don't be silly. Don't be silly. You wouldn't use a Turtwig shell as a shield. It's too small. You'd use it as a helmet.
Probably. But when it evolves, it's like a landmass. Did
That's
you
true.
see? I think it was the Detective Pikachu movie where they had
Yes.
them and
Yep.
they are like an island.
They were enormous. Like it was I don't think you ever actually even saw the bodies of the what was it, Torteras. Like you just
Yep.
saw the like they had the pen labeled Torterra specimens or some shit like that. And they went outside and it was just like these mountains that were moving and they're like, well, there they are.
Exactly. And it's like, can you imagine just like being on the watching the migration from up top has to be cool, but like crossing to the grocery store and then seeing like that crossing over, it would be like your town is gone, your family is gone, like your uncle is screaming on the bottom of one of their feet. Like it's not good.
Yeah, no.
And
Well, and
that's
that
my favorite Pokemon.
that's kind of why I'm like I make the parallels because like in Monster Hunter, like these people have no business being alive and able to build towns, right?
Nope.
Like some of those monsters in Monster Hunter, it's like you get a little taste of it in Monster Hunter Rise where they're trying to beat down the gates, but they would not be able to stop that.
No, I don't feel I feel the same way because you just have like we call her Beetlejuice, the bomb monster,
Yep, yep.
Basil.
Hmm.
He flies over your village, drops a bunch of bombs, you're done. I mean, nothing is going to happen that can save your life when you're literally getting like bombed to hell and back,
There
you
is.
know. Yep, there is Basil.
Yep. And I totally just replaced a bunch of hidden images I have, so they're gonna pop up in random places on my screen when we actually use them.
That's fun. It'll be kind of like a mini game,
Yeah, I
like
have no idea
can
which ones I moved.
yep, can you find them within a timely manner before the audience gets bored?
Little Dora the Explorer action. Can you show me the psychopathic exploding monster? Long pause. See, that's the psych.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and how can you raise children in that mess? Because
Yeah, yeah.
children disobey all the time. So you're like, don't go out into the woods, Timmy. There's name some awful forest monster like Narcacuga. And it's like, Timmy's like, I won't go out after dark, mommy.
And
Timmy
then
goes
Timmy's
out
like, I want to
after
pet
dark.
it.
you know, and I guess we work on survival of the fittest after that because, you know, the kids that obey stay alive. I don't know.
Well, that's why evolution eventually picked for people that had the resistance to fall damage. Because you play those games, you never take fall damage.
Oh yeah,
So,
I know that, and I'm
so
like, nope, my legs would be broke, like right in the mud.
well, that's what I'm saying. Is the people in that universe have to have evolved for these traits where it's like you don't die when you lose all your health. You just mysteriously spawn a bunch of cats with a cart that carry you home. Like,
Yeah, they're like, I saw this giant monster, and it's like a chef, and it's like, and then I fainted. I'm like, honey, that's called dying. Like, Dino, the one we call Dino, the Tyrannosaurus, is like, you're not gonna survive that, blowing its flame at you. So, good luck with that. Yes, you fainted. This is totally not the afterlife. And hey, maybe that's a conspiracy theory.
ooh, yeah, it's like different. The timelines branch off. It's like you didn't actually die. You just got yeeted into another timeline. I used to hate the word yeet, by the way. I don't know why I'm using it freely now. The
Ah,
VTuber brain's getting me.
yep, time marches on.
Well, when my wife and I moved into our last apartment, we had to clean the entire place out, and her and the person who made the entire mess that we had to clean dubbed the cleaning of all the junk Merry Yeetmas because we were throwing everything out, and I'm like, stop saying yeet.
That's
And
actually pretty good though. Merry Eatmas, it's when you take the presents that people bought you where they put no thought into them and you shove them back at their face.
I call that ballistic returns.
It's a different form of Boxing Day for those of you who have Boxing Day. But going back to like things that you don't understand and like feeling really old in the VTuber community, I feel ancient because like now Gen Z's coming up and I'm one of the geriatric millennials theoretically because I'm 37.
Hey, you're only 3 years older than me, so I'm right. I'm right there with you.
So, like, Gen Z is like, when you finish a sentence with a period in DM, it's actually passive aggressive. And I'm like, or it's called grammar. Like,
They,
what the heck?
they call that punctuation.
Yeah,
What I think is passive aggressive is when I had a boss, my last boss actually, every freaking email he ended would end with dot dot dot. I was like, did you really need an ellipses for this, man? Like
yes, he does
that means
because
there's more.
it's, yes, it's more complaining to come. That's literally what he's telling you.
But like
More BS. Dot, dot, dot.
and of course he'd be the person that would randomly pop out with the just using letter U instead of you, and I'm like, this is weird. You are weird. Why are you doing this to me?
It's company communication, though. He should be using proper grammar.
That's what I thought. I thought it was weird.
Yeah,
Gabrielle says
because
dot dot dot.
if you're in a formal setting, I understand where you're just like, how are you? And you abbreviate everything to hell and back. Hey, that's fine. But when you're actually talking with a colleague, you have some very few requirements. But one of them is you don't use like a bunch of slang, you don't use lead speak.
Emojis.
Yeah, it's very unprofessional to do
I
that.
yeah, exactly.
But
Like
yeah,
it.
I just go
Go
ahead.
on. I was gonna say, if he didn't pose himself as this hyper like upstanding socialite so and so, it would make a little more like if we had that casual relationship, but we did not.
But yeah, I just don't understand how like a period can suddenly be passive aggressive, like a thumbs up now. The younger generation uses a thumbs up to be, like, yeah, sure, right, like kind of sarcastic. So they're like, I don't want to use the thumbs up anymore. And
Mm.
it's like, but in
Do
my
I have
generation,
thumbs?
a thumbs up was just like, yeah, that's cool. Like, okay.
See, this is why I work with the elderly. It's just my brain is more aligned with them. It's a lot easier for me to make friends.
And I don't want to sound like a boomer where I'm like, oh, time marches on, ooh, scary. But like some things I'm just like, are you serious? Like, Okay, because something has a double meaning means I can't use it anymore.
The hell with that. Everything has a double meaning.
Right,
Everything,
exactly.
at least. Like even just the phrase I just said, at least. Yeah. Well, at least it has a double meaning, and that means well, there's more than a meaning, or it's like well, at least it has a double meaning. It's all a flexion.
Right, and it's like, so I can't use the thumbs up anymore because some people are used to seeing it one way, and it's like I just find that strange because to me, context, as a person who uses English and language to sling my craft,
Yes.
I find it very strange to say, nope, this only means one thing, and I don't mean like when people use like bad symbols and stuff. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
But like just something that like has modern multiple meanings to go, nope, to me that only means a bad thing, so you're being bad to me, and I'm just like, yeah, context matters.
yeah. Context always matters. People are weird about it though. Like I don't even know where to start. I don't want to get myself in too much trouble. But yeah, everything has it's all about the interpretation and the intent behind things, and like you said, the context is what's really most important. Because like if I called my best friend like an asshole, he'd be like, "Haha, you're an asshole too." But if I just walked up to some person on the street and like, "You asshole," he'd be like, "The hell did you say?"
Exactly.
So it is all a matter of context. Um, And of course, then there's calling my best friend an asshole not to his face. You know what I mean?
Yeah, behind his back is
Yeah.
different because
And
then
that
you're basically like spreading manure around about him.
exactly. So you there's three different instances where the same words are said, but they all have different meaning because of the situation that they're said in.
Yep, I
And
agree.
yeah. So Pokemon cryptids. I still so the classic, right? The classic like what's going on under the surface literally is Diglett. Like what is going on the surface? Like honestly, I believe it's just a couple of little feet, and it's a little mole dude, whatever. But there could be so much more under there if they wanted to play with it a bit.
I can see that honestly, but they try to at first I thought, "Oh, they're trying to keep Pokemon family friendly." And then you like read some of the lore on these things and you're
Yep.
like, maybe not so much." Like,
Yeah, yeah. Some of them are just like this Pokemon likes to drink other people's blood.
and you're
Lady
like, "Well, who
Random,
doesn't?"
hello. Lady Random, welcome to Otter Space, part of your brain that makes make it think it okay to buy a 5 pound bag of gummy bears. How are you today?
Hi, Lady Random. Nice to see you.
Oh, and fun fact, folks, my OBS YouTube chat just picked up the very first message that Gabrielle sent us at the beginning of stream about half an hour ago at this point. So OBS
Woohoo!
just caught up. Whereas,
Time traveling.
yeah, so I don't think I'll be using the OBS YouTube chat feature. That's okay though.
Told
But
Otter this is basically like his second trial run.
yeah, yeah. Well, the last time I did it on Twitch, and I kind of Twitch is a little bit more user friendly for streaming, it seems. In that I can just post, you know, Twitch.com or what did I say YouTube? I meant so Twitch is a little more friendly, user friendly, where I can post twitch.com slash whatever that whole thing, and it'll send you right to the stream. But this one I had to put a specific URL for the stream, so these are the things that I gotta learn if I'm gonna do anything on YouTube. It's nice to see you too, Toluca. Yes, Toluca's here. Toluca's my special guest.
Yep, and I can't sit on the couch, so I'm basically standing on it.
It's a comfy couch for your feet. It's like getting a foot massage.
Hopefully, it's not memory foam because as we talk, I'll just sink lower and lower, and then you'll just see my head. It's
Boop.
like fabric quicksand.
Talk about cryptids. You got the person eating couch or the turtle eating couch.
Yep, I am a couch eating turtle, and that would be my lore. I would just like slowly creep down the street. It would take me about 3 weeks to get to my neighbor's house to
Nothing
eat
wrong
the
with
couch.
turtles on couches, she says. Now, so you always see the mimic treasure chest, right? Like the treasure chest opens up and it's the teeth and stuff. But imagine a mimic like fold out couch.
Well,
Like,
someone's getting it's gonna bite you in the butt to buy one of those.
oh, literally. Oh, that purchase really bit me in the ass. Like, no, seriously, I'm bleeding.
Hopefully the teeth stay attached and don't embed.
Oh, just no. I mean, that's if you get away from it. I mean, think about the average size of a couch. If it's got a mouth the length of the entire couch, you're boned, man. That's
But
it for you.
doesn't move. Like not the mouth, the couch.
It depends on like so whenever there's a mimic in a game, right? It really depends on the interpretation of them. Sometimes there's the mimics that will just open up and try to bite you from there, and then the other one that like I think in I've played very little Dark Souls. I'm not allowed to play Dark Souls anymore, by the way.
Why
Um,
not? You're a salty otter.
I am very I'm hard headed and I do get very salty. So my wife, there's very few games my wife's like, I don't want you playing that in this house. Dark Souls is one of them because I get so angry at it. Like I'm not hitting walls and people or stuff, but I'm just like, God damn it! I will end all of you! Like full on screaming match with the TV and she's like, calm down.
And then the wife has to like give you decaf and
No, I'm pretty sure switching my coffee out for decaf is grounds for divorce.
oh my gosh. So you're hopped up on caffeine and then playing Dark Souls.
Correct. I am hopped up
Oh
on
my.
caffeine all the time. I just had a cup of coffee before this, and now I'm mainlining gummy bears.
Okay, I was going to ask you on your interview with yourself, what is the best? Because you said one of the worst things you've ever eaten is coffee and Starburst.
So you're asking. So yeah, one of the worst things I've ever eaten was drinking coffee, or ever had was drinking coffee after eating a bunch of Starbucks. That was a terrible idea.
Right. So, what is like the best thing for you to have with your coffee?
I mean, there's the obvious answers, things like donuts. Donuts always go well with coffee. Um, you know what strangely goes pretty well with coffee is a spoonful of peanut butter.
No, I believe that.
Yep. So those things that are not necessarily sweet, yes, but not fruit flavored sweets, like cookies and your baked goods, usually go pretty well with a cup of coffee.
Ah, so
Um,
you're a classic otter.
yes, I'm very classy. Thank you. Don't you see the top hat? That screams class. Come on.
Yeah, I should have noticed there's like a donut under there, and that's why it's so round on top. I get it.
Hey, I'm like if anything's under my hat right now, it's a cup of coffee. But actually, I can't take the hat off. It just poof. Bye bye.
Oh my goodness, you're balding.
Excuse you. Fun fact: my fur color is gray, like my beard, but I have to shave all of it but my beard. So I'm actually a gray otter, but the roots like stay brown until they grow out.
Ah, yes, I've used
Deep
that excuse a time or two myself, old man.
deep otter lore. Yep. So I actually shave my entire body except for the beard because I just think the beard looks good.
Beard does look good. It makes you look more distinguished.
Yes, very distinguished otter. Ha ha. I
But yeah,
say.
I did give you a few pictures of my crafting and stuff.
Yeah, you want to get into that? We'll go. I mean,
Well, if you want to. I don't
sure.
know. Are we doing the tier list next? Are you
We're
I
just
don't know.
shooting the shit. All right. So let's see here. So Toluca has shared with us some of her creations, and we'll go ahead and pull them up one at a time, and you can tell us a little bit about them. So
Okay.
what do we got?
This is my beadwork. One year I was, well, number of years. I made jewelry for the Giving Tree, which is like Toys for Tots in my town. They
Oh,
have like
so
giving trees all over where you have like you take a tag off the tree, buy for the kids, but
oh,
there's always like late people that come in
right.
and request stuff and they never have enough. So I actually one year made these
Mhm.
and they're like full on sets. I do it with wire
Mhm.
and they had matching earrings, which are really easy to make. And someday I will do a video on YouTube to make easy wire uh earrings with just like eye pins and stuff like that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, I dabble in that kind of thing too. So I was like, oh yeah, I see how you did that. That's nice. So yeah, it's kind of hard to see in the picture, but those are matching earrings at the top right of the screen. Goes with each of the sets.
yep.
Nice, very nice. Alrighty, so let's see here. What's next? What's next? Boop, 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 boop. Okay, tell us what do we got? Is this from the same the Giving Tree thing?
Nope, that was a set I made my mom one year because she was really into peace signs. She was born in the 50s, so a child of the 60s, 70s.
Right,
And yeah, she always liked the bell bottoms and all, all the hippie stuff.
right. Yeah,
So,
so
yeah.
I have an aunt that was I always thought she was a hippie, but I don't know. Somewhere along the line, she became a nun. I don't know if those two things are necessarily mutually exclusive, but
That, that is a weird trajectory,
it
I will
is.
admit.
Well, the trajectory. So her Pokemon evolutions went like this, right? Hippie, Trekkie, nun. Somewhere,
I would have thought like none would not have been last.
yeah. I don't like. I love my aunt very much. I don't. Her life story. It has a trajectory that I could not follow. But so yeah, I see the peace signs here, and I automatically thought of my aunt, and I'm like, she'd be more apt to wear a cross nowadays.
And all those beads are gemstones, and it's a ring and a bracelet where all you do is like put them on stretch cord and just tie them.
Oh, very nice. I was gonna ask if they were stretchy. So wait, that's a necklace and a bracelet, not a bracelet and or
No, a bracelet and a ring.
that's what I meant. Bracelet and a
Yeah.
ring, not a necklace and a bracelet.
Yep.
So if you wanted to go one size, like the one size larger, you could make it into a necklace, bracelet, ring.
Oh, definitely.
Very nice, very nice. All right, let's see. What do we got? Bup, bup, bup.
You have all this different stuff all over. I put this one on my Twitter actually, but
What?
I know it's a little late in the season for it, but it's one of my favorite Halloween cards I've ever made.
Yeah, I like the sparkle. Now, was this glue with glitter, or how do we make this?
Okay, so we have the card base, which is the vertical stripe.
Hmm.
And then I put underneath the pumpkin, but the pumpkin itself is what you want to know. The
Yes.
pumpkin is just like a big old sticker.
Oh, okay.
There's no way I would have been able to glitter that pristinely with my hands. I still, after all these years of like card making and everything, which my sister got me into, I would never be able to make a straight line. So there's no way in heck I would ever be able to do this, but stickers save my life when I make cards because they come in so many different varieties, like
True, true,
puffy,
true.
and they have like the large die cuts that are like self adhesive. So all it is the card base, an underlayer underneath the pumpkin, and stickers, and then the little greeting up top. I just stuck on there with glue.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say if you managed to do this with like the white glue and glitter, I would be like, how did you do that, and why are you still not done cleaning that up?
Yeah, I know they say that glitter is the herpes of the craft world.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I probably shouldn't say this, but
Oh
you
no,
went right
too
ahead.
late now. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm being a very good turtle.
you
You
are
know
you are
my
you are containing yourself very very admirably, and
yeah,
it's
my streams are AO.
yeah,
So to
yeah,
be
no.
basically on a PG-13-ish type of stream is like you can't say the F word and it's not fondue. Like
I've never actually had fondue. Fun fact.
I've
Uh,
never had it either and it looks really good, but I think it's one of those things that might be overrated.
I think it might be overrated. I think it might be like okay. So tell me, and I'm gonna get rid of because we're not. Let me get this out of here so we're not talking about fondue over a pumpkin. Um, like what is fundamentally the difference between fondue and just cheese dip, right? What's the
I
fundamental
think
difference?
one I think is like fondue is like it's melted cheese. So it isn't just like processed cheese that's like a dip. It's actually like in a pot that's melted. But here's the thing, fondue is not just meant to be cheese. You can have chocolate fondue.
Well, yeah, of course.
Yeah, and stuff like that. So it has to be in the pot melted down, but I've never had it, so I have no idea. Like I could be talking out of my butt.
So Gabrielle says fondue is fondue. Gabrielle, have you done fondue before? Like, is this an experience you've had? Because I've never done it. Toluca's never done it, and Lady Random also says she's never done it. So we got three folks that have never done it. Gabrielle, have you done the fondue? Have you done the do? Do the do. All right. Well.
I mean, it sounds delicious, but you never know.
So what I've heard that fondue actually started not with cheese or with chocolate, but the very original fondue was just oil, right? Like just boiling oil in the center of a room, and you have like uncooked meat around. And I've done something like that. You ever have hot pot?
No.
Okay, so hot pot was actually really kind of cool. Probably a bit more expensive than Gabrielle says she has done chocolate fondue. Okay, so nah. Again, I don't personally see much of a difference between making a bowl of melted chocolate and dipping your stuff in it versus doing a pot of fondue. But I don't know. Maybe it's an experience, kind of a social experience,
Yeah,
like the
because
hot.
isn't it like a communal thing where you all are like around the big cauldron of chocolate or cheese and you're all dipping in off these sticks?
I think that's the key thing is making a communal thing.
I have
Uh,
to have friends to have fondue. I'll be fondue-less forever.
they're taking the fun out of fondue. Gabrielle says hi to random. Um, but no, so hot pot is very simple. If that's the core thing, then hot pot is just basically Japanese fondue because it was like this. It wasn't oil, but it was like broth boiling in the center of the table, and you'd put like uncooked meat into the broth, and it would cook up the meat, and then you eat the meat, and vegetables and all that stuff. And you basically just make it like your own soup in the center of the table, in which uh, when you think about it, why am I being charged double to do the work that the cooks would usually do? Like that's the part that confused me about it. It was very interesting, but I don't think I'd do it again.
My family has this like irrational fear about uncooked, like undercooked meat.
That's not an
I
irrational
mean,
fear. That's a perfectly rational fear.
I, like, okay, I mean, like, I had relatives that ate cannibal sandwiches. Do you know what those are?
I can guess, but I'm hoping I'm wrong.
It's like raw hamburger.
Okay. Whew.
Raw hamburger with like whatever else you want on it. So, but it has to be like fresh raw hamburger. But see, the thing is, um, but I say family, but like that was like way extended family,
Right.
and I'm just like my mom and stuff. She would always like really cook the hell out of all the meat we had because bacteria.
Yeah,
So
of course.
I still will not eat any steak that's not well done. And I know that's heresy for people because
Oh
they're
no.
like, that's where all the flavor is, Toluca. And I'm like, yeah, you call it flavor and juice. I call it blood. It's red. It's right there. It's dripping out. It is not juice. It is blood. And if you like blood with your meat, hey, perfectly fine. My oldest brother, he's of the mind where you take the cow outside, give it a sunburn, and feed it to him. But if, for me, it has to be cooked all the way.
I'm trying to look up.
That's
There's a clip that I wanna share. Yeah, here. So here it is. So I wonder if I can. Let's see here. Bu- 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 bu. Let's see if I can capture a specific window. No, I can't do it. Okay. Well, I was gonna try and share with you the King of the Hill clip where it's like we make it medium well, Bobby, and it's like, what if they want it well done? We politely but firmly ask them to leave.
yeah. But I am definitely a well done type person, and I know it dries out the meat. I know everybody's like, you're not living, Toluca, and I'm like, it's okay. I'm a turtle. I can slowly chew through the shoe leather whilst not getting any kind of bacteria infection. I would appreciate that.
Well, you're a turtle. You're gonna live to be like 9,000 anyway, so.
I'm really hoping so. I'm getting there, and that's why my steak is well done, everybody.
Speaking of turtles, I finally watched Finding Nemo the other day. Well, I mean, my daughter watched Finding Nemo, and I happened to be in the room. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Um,
Right.
but so I had never actually seen it before this, which again, some people might view as heresy because Finding Nemo is one of those like you gotta see it. But me being thalassophobic, I'm like, an entire movie set under the ocean, not my jam. Um, but it's so the part it just made me think of the part where, um, like the gag or the kind of running thing was like, I gotta ask the turtle what his age is. And it's like 150, dude. So I don't know, that just popped in my head.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know this is gonna sound horrible, but I think Finding Nemo is very overrated.
there's a lot of movies like that where like, yeah, they're good, but they're not like you shouldn't be yelling at me for never seeing it, you know?
The Disney fans are gonna come for me, but I have very strong feelings on Frozen, and I
Hmm.
do not like that movie at all. Like at all. And everybody was like, when it first came out in theaters, husband and I were like trying so hard. We're like head down, visors on, like the blinders you give a horse so they don't get spooked. We have like these on every time we're in public, and people are like, "Did you see Frozen?" We're like, nope, 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 didn't see it. We're like going away because we don't want to hear any spoilers. And then we watched it, and I was like, what is this? Like, this is not the movie I was promised. Like,
Well, that's the
and
thing. You had it built up before you. Like everyone's
I
telling you it's this god tier movie, and you're expecting god tier movie, and it's like, yeah, it's a good enough movie, but it's like, you know,
it's not even good enough. I felt like it lost its own plot. Like I felt like somebody wrote a different movie, and then like halfway through maybe they were like, "Oh, this isn't the movie we wanted anymore." And then they smashed together another one. Like the horror movie The Human Centipede where they're like stitching together all the humans. I felt like somebody Frankensteined this movie, and it wasn't supposed to be that way, cuz I'm just looking at it like, okay, it has sort of a plot, but it loses itself and then it finds itself and then it goes sideways again. And like Kristoff was made for Elsa. I firmly believe that.
oh
Like
boy.
his love of ice and everything. And then he ends up with, I know, spoiler alert, he ends up with the sister, Anna. And I'm just like, no, they did not write this way. None of this actually makes sense.
So
And I know
so
you, go
fun
ahead.
fact about Frozen. I don't know about the whole human centipede part, but it did start its life as a different movie entirely. Fun fact.
Yeah,
Um,
it read up that way. And the ending seemed different. And some people said the ending was supposed to be different, and I'm like, well, no kidding, because it read up that way. It really, I could see where the seams were, and like what they were selling us was not what they were actually supposed to be selling us. And I'm just like, everybody's like, this is so good, and I'm just like, let it go, let it go.
there it is. I knew that was coming eventually.
Yeah, yeah, I had to, but
If you
you
didn't,
know
I was going to.
yeah, but people say too that if you're a fan of Tangled, you're not a fan of Frozen generally, and vice versa. And
Hmm.
I can't say that for everybody, but for me, that's true. I found Tangled to be a lot more cohesive of a narrative. But we
Well,
should probably move to your tier list or something because we've been yakking forever.
well, the tier list is really just there if we don't have anything to talk about. Like everything, the show is not an interview. It's not. There's no strong format. I want to have things in case we're sitting there like, say something. Hey,
It's
hey,
the poking of the stick
do
meme.
something.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the stick poking me. But we don't necessarily have to. But if you'd like to, I'm more than happy to. I did load all those pictures, so
Well, I know you said to me at the beginning, you're like, it took a really long time to get through those
it
pictures, and
did. It did. Okay.
I'm like, then
So
he better use it, or he's gonna be like, why the heck? Then next week the other guest is coming on, who I think is Gabrielle, right? And then you're
yeah.
gonna be like, you want to do Monster Hunter tier because you didn't get to use it with me.
No,
So
that's true. Gabrielle, if you're still watching, you gotta start thinking about what you want to do for your tier list. Um,
I gave you four
you
different
did.
things.
So
Yeah.
boom, here is my tier list. I've cleaned it up a little bit. You can see that it's the yay and boo are actually legible this time, and I thought ahead and gave myself a black background.
Awesome. Very good.
All
Points
right,
for
so
Otter.
first question: gummy bears. Where do they go?
Well, you fight them and they're pretty easy, right?
That's where
They're
gummy bears
kind of
go for me.
cute but basic. No, I'm kidding.
Oof, cute but basic. Sounds like me. Ah. No, okay. So hold on. Quick story for you. Um, it's kind of related to that thought. I've made no secret. I used to work in a nursing home. And I'll always remember this one time I was talking with a bunch of the elderly folks, and we were talking about chickens for some reason. I don't remember why we were talking about chickens. Um, but I said chickens are they're cute, but they're pretty stupid. And then I kind of laughed at myself, and they're like, "Why are you laughing?" I'm like, "Well, sometimes I feel like people say that about me. He's cute but stupid." And this little old lady in the front row, sweet little thing, goes, "Oh, sweetheart, no one ever said that about you." I go, "Oh, well, that's really nice." She's like, "Yeah, they never said you were cute." Oh,
Sometimes older people are savage,
yes,
dude,
that was
and
absolutely brutal. Like I was like, "Well, put me in a wheelchair. I'm done. I've been
yeah,
hobbled.
you just hear the Mortal Kombat announcer, brutality. Like it's
Finish
that
him.
bad. Yep.
Wheelchairtality.
Yeah.
You
She's like
win."
beating your confidence to death with her walker.
Yeah, no, they humble you real quick. Like, okay, Monster Hunter. So the tier list rule here is the topic is Monster Hunter monsters, specifically Monster Hunter monsters from Monster Hunter Rise. I did not do Sunbreak. Have you gotten Sunbreak yet?
Nope, and I
Okay.
don't know if there's enough content in there for me to warrant the purchase, so no.
Okay, no, that's completely fair. I like it, but I'm also kind of a weird guy, and I'm gonna have a very busy gaming month in between everything else this month because next week Pokemon comes out, and also next week is when the pre-patch for the next World of Warcraft expansion comes out. So I'm gonna be a very busy gamer in between doing the whole VTubing thing. Yes, I play Warcraft and Pokemon. Don't judge me.
Yeah, I might actually stream Pokemon depending on a few things. So,
Yeah. So it's one of those games that I don't want to be judged for the random stuff I do in it, and I'd rather just play it on my own. I might down the line try and do a Nuzlocke or something if I'm looking for stream content, but who knows? I don't know. I'm only doing one of these BFOs from once a week, right? And I've got guests all the way through halfway through December. So hey, if anybody's watching that wants to be on the show, hit me up. Your spaces are filling. Um,
oh, that's good that you have so much
yeah,
interest.
I'm very excited. So next week is Gabrielle, but I've every week after all the way up to, let me look at the calendar. Almost the week of Christmas, actually, I've got guests.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, I'm very pleased with the response, and I haven't yet had to corner people in the street and be like, "Hey, hey, hey, be a guest."
Yeah, and
But I'm
then they're like,
prepared to do that. For now,
you're
for
like,
now, I'm
you're like,
sated.
what? And then they're like, you want to have a good time with me? I'll put you on the couch.
Hey,
And they're like, wait, wait,
oh
wait,
dear,
what?
oh dear.
Yeah, yeah,
No,
no,
no, no, no Otter casting couch. No, thank you.
no, no,
No,
yeah,
that is a
yeah.
different genre entirely. Oh
Yeah,
Lord.
we're like, we're not there. We have no numbers past like 33, okay? Everything's kosher, you know.
Yeah, but so I've noticed, and you might be able to agree with me. I've noticed a lot of my VTuber mutuals. They're not they don't want to be the person that asks first, right? Like
Right.
like a lot of folks, if even though they're perfectly willing to do collabs or join in a show like this, they don't want to be the one that asks, right? And I started recognizing that, so I was like, maybe I need to be aggressively positive, and that's why for the first couple of people, I like you and Gabrielle, it's like, hey, you want to be a guest on a show? I'm
I
doing
would
a thing.
not have approached you because, like I said, even though I look adorable, I am adults only content. I say a lot of words and words that are worse than that they're F bomb.
Well, I mean, you've been doing very well. I feel like we're gonna get off stream. You're just gonna go to the husband and it's all gonna
Yeah,
come out at once.
probably.
He's gonna be like, like the Raiders of the Lost Ark. By the way, has he made sure that we're actually coming through proper like on stream?
Yes, he did at the beginning anyway, and he said
Oh,
it
okay.
is perfect.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, good, 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 good. I never trusted myself to be streaming correctly. Gabrielle
Me
says, "Does
either.
need me to drag some people in?" Um, I mean, Gabrielle, if you have people in mind, you want to tell them, hey, go hit up the Otter. I'll always take another guest. I've got a lot of mutuals and one person that followed me specifically that asked to be a guest, and I was like, yes. And of course, my fellow members of VCoco. If any of you watch this now or in the future, I'm coming for you. For now, I'm sated with guests, but my hunger is ravenous and unending, and I will come for you. So if any of my fellow members of VCoco want to go ahead and get a jump and be the person that offers to be tribute before I get the chance to corner you in a dark alley, you go ahead and do that.
He's like the hide a bed with teeth. He's just right
Hide a
there.
bed? What's a hide a
Yeah,
bed?
remember the couch with the teeth? Never
Oh,
mind.
hide a bed. Oh,
Yeah,
I'm,
yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking like this is some kind of mythical. Like in my head, I'm spelling. Let me. Here, I'm
Like a
gonna.
displacer beast. No, 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 nothing like that.
No, like when you said it, and I wonder if I can make this visible. Like this is how I imagined it was spelled, and I'm like, what the heck is a hide a bead?
That
Is
that would be very interesting.
like I was like, is that like a hydra of some sort? Like I'm thinking you're talking about like a Gaelic mythical creature or something. I don't know.
No, not. I could. Like, okay, you know how you have like the Wikipedia page in case things
Yep.
go south and everything goes quiet?
Yep.
I was going to actually give you like the urban legends Wikipedia page with like
Ooh.
literally all the urban legends, and then I started reading through them like about hags that rip off kids' skin, and I was like, no, 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 you said light and fun. Like,
Yeah, that would have been a little dark.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, okay, some of this would have been like interesting or fun to talk about, but some of it was like so dark. I'm like, we're past like 1600s fairy tale dark, and I'm like, you said light and fun, so I'm like, no, 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 that's not light and
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
You
Nope.
didn't
Nope.
mean people get lighter by having their limbs
Oh
removed. You
Lord.
meant light as in happy. So I'm
Yes.
like, no,
Yes.
we're good.
Um. Okay, so I got myself derailed. Tier list. Check out this tier list that's been sitting in the middle of the studio for the last like 15 minutes. Uh, so okay, so the rules for the line are we're gonna put things. If we start running out of space, the ones in the boo column all the way down here, they're gonna start bumping each other off. Okay?
They get yeeted.
Yeah, they get. I still can't bring myself to do it on purpose. Like it comes out of me sometimes, but I don't like to willingly use the word
It's
yeet.
okay. You
What
can
you doing,
say
Bean?
yeet.
It's okay. It's all right. You're already cringe.
Embrace the cringe. You're a
Hello.
VTuber now.
Hello, my name is Otter. Hi, Otter. I I am a VTuber.
You know what having
Round of
the
applause.
line in the middle of the screen reminds me of? Like, you remember like the old talk shows like Maury when they would put you in the sound booth and then impose your pictures side by side?
Oh yeah.
I feel like that's what's happening to us right now. Like, you're in the sound booth and I'm on the couch telling my side of the story.
Otter doesn't know it, but in the other room in a soundproof cell, we have Toluca Turtle that tells her part of the story.
Yeah, that's
He
exactly what this reminds me
he
of.
is a butthole. See, in my head, I'm just thinking it's like a game of Pong. Like that's what I'm seeing in my head. So
And you're up higher than I am, so that works.
let me see if so we're just gonna make one of our critters. So I just and bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong bing bong. I don't know if that all tracked. Yeah, I can see it on the bing
Yep.
bong.
Yeah, it actually works.
So that said, our first monster, Zenogre.
Who I call Cookie Crisp or Kyogre. Okay, are we going for design, difficulty of killing? Are we taking all the factors?
Like if I were just to say, do you like this monster? Like, where would you put it on the line of you liking it?
Oh, okay, slightly above half. I like him. He's
Well,
solid. He's got the charge up, which makes him a little bit easier to hit. He's a little bit impressive with design, but he's not like the best design, but he's pretty classic, I feel.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. And he's got there's a certain factor in games. It's like dogs automatically get extra points somehow. Like dogs and cats get extra points. It's just how the internet works.
Yeah, that's true.
Like that new ghost Pokemon was a Grievard or something. It got points because it's a dog.
Yeah, I can see that happening. People, we have cats and dogs as our primary pets, so anything like that reminds us of our babies is like better for us.
Yeah. So Zinogre, I feel like gets a couple extra points just by virtue of it's a doggy. All right. Let's see here. I'm gonna go. Okay. So one of the first monsters you play against in Rise, right, is oop, nope, 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 nope. Yes, there we go. Hua. The Arcanosam. This thing.
Yeah, the fire turkey.
Fire turkey.
Okay. The fire turkey, I think, is kind of like underneath Zenogre. He's kind of more in the boo area, but he's not bad. He's a solid choice. He's kind of like a turkey mixed with a dancing crane, like a Japanese crane.
All right.
So
So
just,
below half
almost
or above half?
like below the yay line, but
Okay.
like not like below the yay line, not above, below the yay. So in the boo category, put him in the boo.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So yeah,
Yeah,
below the halfway
yeah,
point.
right there.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah, he's not the most interesting design, but he's got some good moves on him.
Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna
I'm
make
gonna
him.
be one of those people that doesn't want to hurt their feelings, so I kind of put them all in the middle. Like,
Don't want to insult the imaginary creature. That's fair. You never know when you're gonna run into an Akhenasom stan on the internet. You don't want to get canceled just because you didn't like the umbrella bird.
right, yeah, exactly.
All right, let's why don't we keep it in the simple range? We'll start with the Great Baggy. If I can click on it.
Baggy sucks. Baggy sucks.
Uh oh.
He goes in the bottom half.
Bottom half of the bottom half.
Yeah, bottom half of the bottom half.
Right around here.
He's not the worst thing though, so don't like shove him in the boo entirely. As far as like, yeah, yep,
Right there. Okay.
yeah, because he's not great. He's something that's like baby's first monster. You
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
fight
He's
this
like a
thing. Yeah,
tutorial monster. Yeah.
yeah, and
Uh,
there's never anything like really interesting with the baggies and the jaggies. They're just like all the same monster with just different elements. So no.
speaking
Mm-mm.
of
Oh
the
God.
the Great Azuchi.
He can like be right next to his friend
Yeah.
over there. They're basically the same thing.
Yeah, they're basically except this guy's got a sharp butt.
Yeah, that's true. I do like the Baggies' ability, like when they're in the arena with the other monsters, to put the other monsters to sleep if I kind of move behind the other monster quickly,
Right,
because they're
right.
aiming for me, but they hit their friend.
Yeah,
So,
the sleep spit.
yep,
I wish I could put people to sleep with my spit. Hmm.
you'd be like
But
spitting on your kid.
then again, there's so much coffee in my general genetic makeup. I'm pretty sure Bean is like 30% coffee by genetic value.
So any sleep problems she has are your fault.
Almost surely. Although to be completely fair, if I'm like 50% coffee by volume, right? My wife is like 70% Monster Energy drink by volume.
Oh my goodness, the
Yeah.
kids you'll make. Hopefully, you don't have more than like 3 kids because then you'll get like 120% caffeine.
I don't know if that's how the math works, but even when she was pregnant, my wife was still drinking Monster Energy. They were the teas, but she counted every gram of caffeine. Let me tell you, the doctor's like, you can only have XYZ amount of caffeine. She's like, a can of Monster Energy drink has exactly blah 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 milligrams of caffeine. This is within the allowed limit. I'm allowed to have this. And the doctor's like,
He becomes a freaking chemist.
and the doctor's just sitting there like, uh, um, okay, fine. So she had an exact allotment of how much she was allowed to have, and she got every microgram.
That is funny.
Like so, I can't fault her for it. She needed it. She like me. She needs it to live.
Yeah, you
And
would have had been counting coffee cups if you would have been the one pregnant.
it's true. It's true. Well, I don't think I'm strong enough to have been pregnant, so I'm pleased that that I have a very strong mate. But anywho, enough about me. Let's talk about monsters. So keeping in the theme of the baby's first great monsters. Boop, boop.
Oh God.
The great Roggy.
Uh,
So
put put him in the
hello.
same area. Just
Saying
put
put
him
him
in
right
the
on.
same. He's a little bit below his friends only because that poison is so annoying. It is unbelievably annoying. So like barely, but like yeah, like overlap them. They're all in the same family. Let's have them have a family reunion.
So they can all hang out right there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see here. Let's go a different route. So these are all raptor type land based monsters that we've been talking about. So let's go with something a little more splashy, literally. The this thing, Geototus gyroscopus.
Okay, is that like the fish, the
Yeah, it's the
landish
fish.
fish? Yeah.
Yeah, he just
Uh
swims in the mud and stuff.
he's actually for me below the jaggy
Really?
line. Yeah, I don't like him. Uh, there's one I will hate, and it's worse, but it's kind of on the same vein. So,
That's fair. We'll put him right about there.
yep.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, I'm kind of trying to go by like order you would have run into them roughly. All right. Oh, nope. Nope, still not. There we go.
Honey
Boop.
badger.
Honey badger. Honey badger don't give a shit.
Azeros is
Yep.
above the. It's a little above the line, the
Hmm.
divider line.
Okay.
So I would say he's about Kyogre, but when we get to Apex him, he can go jump off a cliff.
I'm just gonna tell you straight up. I decided to avoid apexes because they're just the same monster, just angrier.
But when he hits Apex, he can go he can go die.
Okay, so as Arzuros and Zenogre are roughly the same.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. Um, I would put if it were me, I'd put Arzuros just a little above Zenogre personally, but I just like his design more. I like my dogs, but I tend to like bears as far as animals a little bit better. I don't know. Maybe it's just years of playing Druid on Warcraft.
You're
Okay.
like bears are our friends.
Well, I mean all of them except for Freddy. Freddy is not my friend. Okay, next up. Uh, what'd you call him? Dino?
Yeah, Dino. It's Dino.
Dino
Uh,
Spumoni.
I don't really care for Dino. He's like just above the like Azuchi type line.
Oh, okay.
Cause to me, he's just like a Barney that has wings and fire, basically.
So right about here.
Yeah.
So so the thing about Anjanath, right, is in Monster Hunter World, they built him up a real lot in the first couple of like the first part of the game, basically. Like, and then suddenly he becomes the vendor trash. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's like, hey, for all the hype you did, and I mean, I know that's how Monster Hunter works. Like in Rise, they give you like the cinematic at the beginning with the
Yeah,
poem,
yeah.
and then like the thing that was such like badass later on is like getting kicked.
It's
Like,
true.
yeah,
The power creep is pretty serious in those things.
yeah, exactly. So it does show you like the ecosystem kind of, but it's like here they show you like this fierce beast, and it's like it looks like a kitten after like 3 4 rounds.
Yep, yep. All right. Let's see here. No. All right. A pretty good standard monster for the Monster Hunter franchise, and one of my personal favorites, by the way, the Barrett Baroth.
Oh God, I hate Baroth.
Oh,
He keeps tagging me. I mean, or they all do, but like, he is one of the first walls that ever started wiping me in World,
yep.
and I despise him because of that. To
Oh,
me, he,
Baroth trauma. So where are we
yeah,
putting
he's
him?
like awful. He's like on the tier of the fish monster thingy.
Below the. Okay, all right. So right about
Yeah,
there.
no, like he's like the fish monster. He's like that, like right across from him.
Yeah. So right next to the Geototus,
Yep.
right around there. Ah, it's a pity. So he's one of my favorites actually, but not my favorite. We'll get to that later though.
Yeah,
Uh,
because okay, to me, he's got a fairly good like set of tools.
Mm.
But his design I feel is uninspired. Uh, I hate
Ooh.
the animals that can like muck you down in the mire, the monsters that
Well,
like
yeah,
have
that's fair.
yeah,
I like
yeah.
him because he's like it's always humorous to me, right? When you're facing him down and suddenly you hear a freaking train, choo choo, and you're like,
Okay, that saves him from like being like the lowest thing ever,
that's
but
fair. That's fair. Okay, so whenever I talk about Bear Off, I always have to stop myself and make sure I'm saying the right name because this monster is
very off.
Barry Off.
Yeah, I know they're so similar, aren't they?
Yeah, so I
As far as name.
always goof up by calling one the other, and I'm like, wait,
For being basically a saber-toothed tiger with wings, he's pretty forgettable for me.
hmm,
So he's like just at the technically he's a boo line, but just at the boo line. You know what I mean? Like the top, like in the middle, right in the middle, right on the line, except just slightly to the boo end. He's
oh,
kind of I do like that he has the attacks he does, but
so
he's a little bit uninspired.
so below the middle line, but not too much
Yeah,
below it, like right there.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I know that my bottom line, my boot line, is pretty damn heavy.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. That's okay. Um, so far, I kind of agree with you. Of course, I would put Baroth a little bit higher because I like him. He's actually like my second or third favorite monster. Um, and but yeah, no, I totally get you. And this is your opinion. You don't need to apologize for it. All right, so let's see who's next. Who's next? All right, so I don't know if this monster was new for Rise. I don't remember it in any games before. And its picture here, right, doesn't look anything like it actually looks in game. Do you remember this monster?
Was that the okay? That is either not. That's not the arachnid. That is the
No.
one that's like a rock dragon that has all the different status
Yep.
effects.
Yep. Basarius is his name.
Yes,
Um.
he's annoying.
All right. So where does he go on the line here?
I don't like him. I think he's one of the bottom monsters.
Okay. Are we putting him under Geototus or
Do you see Boo? Like the
yes?
Boo line, just set him on top of Boo. Like
Like
so he knows he's always bad forever.
there?
Yeah.
Okay. Fair
He's
enough.
I think my second least favorite monster, but we'll find out.
Well, we still got time. I think there's something like 24 monsters that I loaded the pictures for. And they're just the monsters that shipped with the base game of Monster Hunter Rise.
Right.
All right. So speaking of monsters that you fight early in Monster Hunter Rise, he doesn't fling poop, but he flings fruit.
Oh,
Bishartan.
I call him the Bishatan, but I don't know
I think
how
that
to
might be right.
pronounce it.
The fling
I
monkey.
kind of like him, the Fling Monkey. I kind of like him. I kind of like his style. So, like, he's just like a little bit above the yay line for me.
Okay, is he above Zenogre and Osiris or right there?
No, no,
Okay,
he's
so
like no, he's not. But he makes it in the top part of the
we're
world at
gonna
least.
we'll bring these guys up a little bit and then we'll bring him just below them.
Yeah.
Like Sion.
I'm gonna have a traffic jam on the bottom half.
That's okay. 20 monsters enter a room. Okay. All right. So you talked about walls, right? So Baroth for me was never a wall. I'll tell you who one of my first major walls in all Monster Hunter games always is. This moho there here.
He's in the boo line because he is an uninspired design. He
Diablos.
has the annoying underground attack.
Diablos.
Yes, Diablos.
Diablos.
No, no, thank you. He hits like a truck. He's literally in the bottom part. Now where that is debatable for me. Sometimes he's like on a Yazuchi line, and sometimes he can just hang out at the bottom with the freaking like monster with all the side effects, like right on the boo
Bing
line.
bong, bing
He
bong.
he's awful.
All right, so you got to tell me where is he going?
He is around where the maybe just barely above the status effect dragon.
He's on your face.
Oh God,
Status effect.
that would be a headache. Actually,
So
he's
right
very
here ish.
yeah. He's a truck.
He's a butthole. It's the burrowing that gets me.
Yep,
Like
and then you're supposed to use the screamer pods, and it's like you have like 2 seconds to dig it out and throw it
the
in the right
bomb.
direction. Yep, and it's like, oh, you missed. It's like trying to figure out your entire life in like 3 seconds, and
Yeah.
it's like, nope, forget it, gone.
And once you start getting to the higher rank, like I never actually fought an Apex Diablos, but like the variant Diablos and other games, Black Diablos and stuff. And then I
Mm.
heard there's something even worse. It was like something bloodshorn Diablos or something. It's a one horn Diablos that is pissed off.
I've
Uh,
never even heard of that, so I'm very glad I've never seen that one.
yeah, my there is. Hold on one second. I'm gonna look it up because now I'm curious. So Diablos, there's a variant of Diablos in some games. I don't know if it made it to Rise. I feel like Rise took it a little easier on everybody. Um, okay, so there's Apex Diablos, and then there's, let's see if I can find its variants. Bloodbath Diablos.
That actually sounds amazing, but to fight it would be awful.
Oh, so wow, there's actually quite a few. So there's Bloodbath Diablos, and then there's Hardcore Diablos. Fair enough. Apex, obviously, and apparently there's a Gilded Diablo, so that's kind of neat. But anyway, yeah. So there's I'm saying it could be worse. Is my point.
Right, yeah.
All right.
Did you ever see the movie?
I didn't. I was kind of trying to make a joke off of it with that whole Diablos thing. Um, but I just know like there's this YouTuber that I watched whose name escapes me at this particular moment. But he does like little anime, or they do little animations with monster hunters and stuff. And one of the things was the guy could only say the word Diablo, so he's Diablos,
Mm.
Diablos, 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 Diablos.
It was not good. I was very disappointed. They used it for, I'm gonna mess up the word, the isekai.
Isekai, yeah.
Yeah, and I did not enjoy that, and I usually love that genre, the transporting into a new world.
Hmm.
I just, so many things about it I hated. I could like rant for an hour because like how they took her and made her Mila Jovovich like they did with Alice in the Resident Evil movies.
Hmm.
Yeah, they made her the super powerful one, and then the hunter is just like there. He's her friend. They bond over a Hershey bar because of the language barrier, which Hershey's is like one of the worst things known to man. And if it were a different world, it would probably be way too sweet for somebody else to eat.
Anybody from the Hershey's main office is watching this turtle does not necessarily represent the opinions of Otter Incorporated. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hershey's is, if we did Boo and Yay, Hershey's is okay. It's like mid tier, but like, if you're not used to eating sugar, like try to
Yeah.
go without sugar for like a month and then take a bite of a Hershey bar or a drink a Mountain Dew or something. The amount of sugar will be too overpowering for you, most likely. And now imagine somebody who never had any processed crap in their life
Yeah,
and
no,
then
you're
give
not
them,
wrong. I'm not saying I
yeah.
disagree with you. I'm just making jokes here.
Like it doesn't, I don't care what sweet it would be, it would just be too much.
Yeah, and I don't think I'm getting Hershey sponsors anytime soon.
And like I'm like, it would just be really, really bad. It
Yeah.
would be like giving them like Pepsi. It would be just like yuck. Like they would be smacking their lips at first, and then they'd be like, "Is this a new type of poison? Why doth it froth?" Like it would be really bad.
Drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, back to Monster Hunter. All right. So speaking of monsters in the dirt and covered in mud and Hershey's and stuff. Oh, yo. Uh, Almadron.
That's the bottom one. That is the bottom one. That is the
Uh,
worst monster in existence. I call it the crap monster, but I
uh.
don't say crap. It's the poop monster.
Okay.
It
Okay.
deserves to
So
be in the
here,
sewer.
here we're gonna do
It's,
this. We do.
it's off. Yep.
Bye.
Yep. It has been yeeted. It is awful. I hate it. I hate the look of it. I hate how much armor it gets. I hate that it slings its poop all over me. I hate that it can slow me down yet burn me. I hate it. I hate it.
Okay, so Toluca's got some strong opinions about Almudron.
Yes, the poop monster. No, 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 never, never, never.
Okay, well he has been flung across outer space. He's gonna wake somebody is gonna wake up in a cold sweat dreaming of him for just for you, because
That's fine.
outer space is a communal space amongst all sentient beings. So somebody just got an Almudron thrown into their psyche. So there you go.
Hopefully, it's somebody who actually likes it a lot more than I do.
I mean, or somebody that hates it a lot more, because that could be fun. Just freaking fling the monsters into space. Here you go. Have a good dream. Uh, all right. So Almudron's off the tip. Okay. Well, we're gonna talk about my one of my favorite monsters. Boom.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
I still
It's
don't know how to
Beetlejuice.
pronounce this. I think Basil. This dude, Bomber Boy.
Yeah, it's Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
Uh,
Beetlejuice.
he,
Beetlejuice.
I kind of like him actually. He goes up. I think he's like halfway up the yay list. So he's
Halfway
like
up the.
3/4 up the list.
Okay. So about yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll make him a little smaller just for the sake of space. Okay, yeah. Well, you're so okay. We got a few things above the breaking line. Like if this was the flood line right here in the middle, some monsters would survive,
Yep.
like three of them.
Hey,
Okay,
I'm
so
picky. What can you say?
that's fair. That's fair. I don't know if you've necessarily run into this monster because I'm not really sure when he shows up. Because I in Monster Hunter Rise I fought him in a special request quest, but
Oh,
I don't know if he does ship in the main game.
what?
So,
Oh, is that the Chameleos or is that a
yep.
different one?
Nope, that's Chameleos.
Oh, so yeah, we fought Chameleos
Okay, I
already.
wasn't sure. So,
Um, I don't like him. I
okay.
think he's like probably halfway in the boo area. I mean, he's not the worst thing I've ever seen. He's kind of like he kind of looks doofy, like
Mhm.
dopey, and that kind of saves me when he's like turning invisible and eating my butt.
That's fair. So right about there
But
next to Adjanath.
yeah, yep.
That's fair. Now is Chameleos an elder dragon or not? I can never remember.
I thought, I thought, but we're lucky we're only doing rise monsters because if you would have put in Corin, the electric unicorn,
Oh, Kieran, yeah.
yeah, I call him Corin. I have thoughts. I have lots of thoughts, and it's worse than the poop monster.
Jeez. Okay.
I
So
have
so
that's like
Chameleos is
yeah.
an elder dragon.
Okay, yeah, he's just kind of there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel you there. I feel you there. He's kind of like, eh. So on the topic of, all right. So this one's not an elder dragon, but he's also on the list. So let's go ahead. So I like this one.
Hot dog.
Yeah,
Yeah, gross
Gross
hot dog's
Harag.
fun. Yeah, gross hot dog. Gross hot dog's fun.
Gross hot dog.
So like, yes, the little gross hot dog. So he's not as fun as like he's just like below Beetlejuice.
Okay, so I'm gonna scoop Beetlejuice up a touch and put gross hot dog below, like right about there.
Yeah, that's gross hot dog. He's a pretty cool dude. He's got some nice blade action.
I like the in is it master mode or expert mode? I can't remember the name of the mode, but in the higher ranks, he's interesting because he plays around with the blades a lot more.
Oh, really? I don't think I've ever had that one. So
Yep. Let's see here. Okay, so this one a lot of people have weird opinions on. I want to see what your opinion is.
I knew it would be him.
Yeah.
I'm not saying what I call him, but he looks like something out of Resident Evil.
Yeah, I can see that, and I can also take guesses at what you would call them because they're not being
Yeah,
subtle about it.
yeah, he's basically really Stretch Armstrong like, so that kind of gives you a clue. So I don't really like him very much. Like I don't hate him. I guess we'll just put him on the line, but he's kind of a little lower down than the line, but we'll just put him on the line. We'll
So
just leave the controversial monster on the line between Boo and Yay.
it's kind of like yeah, like right in the
Yeah,
center.
I don't like his design. He does some interesting things that other monsters don't do, so I can't like put him down too far. But he's annoying as crap,
Yeah,
and some of his attacks just no. And he's nightmare fuel basically.
he
If
is nightmare fuel like that.
yeah, the smile without the eyes. He has like the clammy white skin.
Ugh.
Like if you touched it, you'd like your hand would like peel away with like
Yeah,
some kind of string or strands. No,
yeah,
no.
the mucus
Yep,
membrane thing going on.
yep,
Bleh.
exactly. Yeah, no. Mm-mm.
Bleh.
There goes the coffee.
Well, time to drink more. No, I don't have another cup right now. Not yet, at least. Right now, my mouth is so full of gummy bears. I feel like it would be a little strange to drink coffee. All right. Maybe it's it's a good thing that you don't have the same strong feelings. Otherwise, I'd be throwing that monstrosity out into outer space for somebody to dream up.
We're just that I don't like the design, but like some of the things he does are interesting.
Hmm.
But yeah, he plunks his I don't even want to say it looks like a his let's say butt, but just part of the butt into the ground, and makes a hole
You
and
can
then no no
you can hear the straining of the seals upon your lewdness and bad taste, stretching and creaking like let me out.
I'm trying to articulate this while being PG-13.
Get the tasers, keep the beast in its cage. Like the opening of the first Jurassic Park. Shocker! Shoot her!
But the thing
Uh,
is, it doesn't work though. So, okay, so
bzz,
yeah, she
bzz.
does interesting things, but yeah, I don't like the design. I don't like a few of the shenanigans it
Right.
pulls. The
Yeah.
yeah,
There's actually a stuffed animal version of a kazoo.
I bet some people absolutely adore the damn
Yeah,
thing, and
and
I
I'm
just,
sure they do, and I don't want to know those people, I don't think.
it should be made out of like gelatin, like
Blech,
buttons.
blech. All right, in the effort of avoiding that particular thought train going too far down the line, we're gonna move right along. So something far more bland and milk toast. Boom, Hulu
He's
Yaku.
kind of like by the Azuchi. He's just
He's just
yeah,
there.
yeah, it's just the chicken. It is what it is.
He's maybe baby's first and a half monster.
Yeah, like he's totally edible, I would think. Out of all the monsters, if you
Okay.
gave me all the different monster meats, I'd be like, oh, there's a fire chicken and a turkey, or a fire turkey and a chicken. That I would eat those. Like
So actually, that brings up of the monster we've discussed so far. Which monster would you be the most likely to eat?
probably those. What
Yeah.
about you?
Hmm. Hmm. Okay. So I feel like a Geototus would be really good if you could get all the mud off of it.
Because he'd be just like a fish. I
Yeah.
see that. Okay, so Giatotis, the fire turkey, and the chicken, and then there's one more that I might dare to eat if I could actually kill it.
And what's that? Is it on the list already?
No.
No. Okay. Well, maybe we'll run across it. Um. Okay. Speaking of possibly edible monsters, the bun bun.
No, we don't eat bunnies here, and Bunny is kind of boring. Like, I'm sorry, people are like, "Oh, he's so cute," and he doesn't really hurt you, and people put him usually on the same tier as the um honey badger, but he's just kind of meh. Like he's probably a little above the kazoo, but like there we go.
Right about here.
Yeah, I don't think honestly that I would like make him survive in the flood, but he's just kind of exists.
Yeah, yeah, that's fair. Fun fact about rabbit meat, though, and the handful of rabbit VTubers out there are gonna come for me after this. Did you know that there's such a thing called rabbit starvation?
Yes.
I feel like I might have talked about this before, but
Yep.
rabbit meat is so low in nutritional value that you can fill your belly with it, and you will not get enough nutrition to survive.
Yep.
So
So,
I've heard at least.
yep. So, because it would be like eating celery in a way.
God, I hate celery. You want to talk about things that I'm willing to fling off into outer space for somebody else to dream about? Celery is on that list. It's, goodbye.
Yeah, celery is weird. It's like water with hair in it. It's
Uh,
very
exactly. It's so like my wife insists on cooking with celery all the time. I'm like, can't you just use like celery seasoning or salt, get the flavor without that texture? Just like,
like you
yeah.
say flavor, but there's like hardly any
I don't. Yeah.
flavor
Well,
to
she
it.
insists. She insists that there's flavor to it, and she insists that it's essential. But I cannot stand just straight up celery.
Well, like
Uh,
I said, it's like hairy water. It
yeah.
really is. The
I'm never.
fibers are,
I'm never gonna be
yeah.
able to unthink that thought. Thank you.
Oh no, but am I wrong? Am I
No,
wrong?
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Just because it's not incorrect does not mean it's not good. It does not mean it's good. Just
Well, you're welcome. I've given you a few thoughts from tonight.
great. Next time I pull like a hairball out of the drain, I'm gonna be like, damn celery.
Deconstructed celery.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Okay. Monsters. 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 Okay. Okay. Here's a hot button one. Here we go. Boom. I know what you call this one, but just tell the guests,
It's
tell the audience.
marshmallow. I like
Marshmallow.
marshmallow.
All right. So
Marshmallow's a good
Mallow. Where are we
monster.
putting Mallow? Marshmallow.
Mallow is really, really good. So he goes up at the top. I don't know if he's my absolute favorite, but he's one of them.
Okay. So he's above Beetlejuice for you.
Yes, yes, he is.
Okay.
Okay, so one, he's got the purple attack, and I love purple. So even when he's killing me, it's beautiful. Like
Ooh burning.
yeah, exactly. So one, it's gorgeous. Two, his model, even though it might not be the most stunning, he is purple. He is a beefy purple. We love that. We love like the tail attack that he's got. I mean, he is a solid boy, our marshmallow.
He is a solid boy. That's fair. I like the. I do agree with you. The tail attack is entertaining. If nothing else, it looks like he's casting a spell like a wand, like Avada
Yeah,
Kedavra, my butt. Pew!
yes, exactly. Yes, it's actually quite amazing. I enjoy him. I hate fighting him, but
Yeah.
I love him. I love him.
So on the because being a VTuber now, I'm always thinking about well, what's my next clip, and I think Avada Kedavra, my butt might might be my next clip.
Context Otter. After a night at Chipotle, abracadabra,
Avada
my
Kedavra, my butt. Oh, Chipotle Kedavra. Oh God. Moving right along. Avada Kedavra, Kashola Delora.
Okay, is that the wind monster?
Yeah, this is one of those monsters that confuses me a little bit because he's like a steel dragon, but he controls wind. That strikes me as weird.
Of dragons, so it's gonna be above the middle line, but not too much. He's like above the bunny, if
Above
that
the
helps.
bunny, yeah. So between the bunny and the bear,
Yeah,
like yeah.
yeah. And yes, he gets extra points because he's a dragon. No, that isn't fair, but I have to look out for my distant relatives, okay?
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you're right on the evolutionary line of dragons, right? So it's dragons and then dragon turtles and then turtles and you.
Damn right.
So
Yeah.
that's completely fair. Like with me, it's like honey badgers and then weasels and then otters. Or
I come from a royal line, okay? I used to take to the skies
yep. And now, well, you're made of stained glass, so you can at least signal for help, just like the bat signal coming off your cell. Beep 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 beep
and tilt myself in the sun and like blind
beep. Blind pilot.
airplanes. I, yeah.
Damn it, Toluca!
I have like the highest body count just as a glass turtle.
You're just minding your own business out in the sun, and just people are friggin' falling out of the sky.
I
It's like,
have
God
to
damn it,
only
not
go
again.
out at night.
I wear my shell glasses at night so I can.
They wanted to make me into solar panels. I wouldn't let them. No one can chain me down.
Uh, hey, you know what? You might make a few extra bucks that way. Just some battery packs with a solar panel attached to it on your shell. You're good to go.
I could
Okay.
actually stream out in the desert then. I could just be like, this is Toluca coming to you live from the Mojave.
How did I know you were gonna specifically say Mojave? I don't know. The first desert that came to my mind was Mojave, and I was like, she's gonna say Mojave.
Yep.
Uh, all
We
right.
hang around each other too long.
Speaking of things that start with the letter M, Mizutsu, this thing,
The Bubble Monster.
Bubble Monster. Yes,
I like the Bubble Monster. The Bubble Monster is above Kyogre.
above Kyogre. Okay,
She's really hard for me to fight, and I hate her slipperiness to her.
right,
I
right.
don't like that. And when she turns Apex, of course, my
Uh,
entire opinion of her changes, and she can go geet. But till then, she's above Kyogre.
fair enough. Fair enough.
She's pretty. She's got a variety of different things she can do to you. She even tries to heal you once in a while, just because she secretly likes when you beat her
Yeah,
up.
that is a little weird that some of the soap bubbles are just healing bubbles. Like, weren't you trying to kill me?
It increases your attack, and I'm just like, I understand you're confused, honey. I love you anyway. It's all right.
If a turtle wielding two dual blades walked in on me, I'd be a little puzzled too.
That's fair. That's fair.
Okay, so on the list of monsters with names that are difficult to say, Nargacuga.
Nargacuga. Kind of a little. Okay, you know where Barioth is?
Yes,
Barioth, the saber-toothed tiger,
yes,
just above Barioth.
just
I
above
like
Barioth.
him more than that. He hits a little harder. He has that when his little like a dart eye things glow red, and you know you're in trouble. And then he too has a tail attack where he like throws it at you.
Yep.
And I admire that dedication. So willing to extract part of itself to hurt me. I
I,
enjoy that dedication.
I always admire a lethal Fanny.
Yeah, it's like when someone is so mad at you, they would actually rip off their arm to throw it at you. You got to admire that, right? I mean,
So growing up, this reminds me of a story. Growing up, my uncle gave me a lot of questionable morality advice, but it's the kind of advice that sticks with you whether you like it or not. But one of his pieces of advice to me was like, you ever get into a fight and you happen to have a frying pan nearby. I don't know what world his mind was in, but this is where it was at the time. He said, if you happen to have a frying pan nearby, grab it and bash yourself over the head with it. What?
yourself?
Myself. Says if you ever somebody's ever willing to start a fight with you, they're coming at you, they're threatening. You grab that frying pan and you beat yourself right over the head with it. You know why? Because they're gonna suddenly think, oh damn, he's willing to do
You're nuts.
that to himself. What's he gonna do to me with that frying pan?
Yeah, I thought they'd be like, you come at them and you're like, the people that are like, I'm not stable, I'm crazy, and then they're just like, oh hell, I can't fight this person.
Well, that's the thing. You can never really tell what a crazy person's gonna do. I don't even know what I'm gonna do half the time,
Yeah,
except
yeah,
eat gummy bears.
but and it's like technically, I mean, theoretically, taking into the serious for a moment, people with mental illness and whatnot are more likely to be victims of crimes than perpetrators.
That's true.
But people don't, look at it that way. So, yeah. All
Well,
right, who we got on the list?
more gummy bears. Oh,
Okay, you're like, give me a moment to eat, woman. Damn.
no, go gummy bears.
Yeah, I make digital art too, and I actually drew myself, but
Mm-hmm.
it totally looks like I drew myself, and I realized that. It's like I spent 30 hours drawing myself, and this is how magnificent I can get.
Well, yeah, hold on. I make you feel a little better. You want to see Otter 1 like 0.0 because I showed you Otter 1.0 earlier.
Right.
All right, let me see if I can find Otter 0.0. Um, because Otter 0.0, if you want to talk about things that look like they were drawn by hand, this Otter 0.0 definitely falls in that category. Let me see if I can pull up Otter 0.0.
What does your art setup look like, by the way?
My art setup? What do you mean?
Like, do you have a drawing tablet?
Oh
What
yes, I
program do you use?
with my tax return a few not was it this earlier this year? I don't know. One of my tax returns I used to buy a drawing tablet.
Are you
So
happy with it?
you know what? At first I was like, man, I wasted my time with this, but I actually just the right amount of magnificent. Aquastar
Does it have
says
a
you.
screen?
Yeah, it's got a screen you can draw right on it. So Aquastar says that you've got just the right amount of magnificent. Aquastar, welcome to Otter Space, the part of your brain that makes you think it's okay to buy a 5 pound bag of gummy bears. Welcome.
Yes, hi. He's interrogating me today. I mean,
I'm not
interviewing me,
interrogating.
talking to me. I mean,
All right, so hold on. I'm gonna. I just found a picture of Otter 0.0. This is the proto Otter. Before I even started doing anything with streaming of any kind. So I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna send it to myself. I'm gonna put it up on screen for us. So
okay.
Otter 0.0. Boop. All right, so let me just go grab him real quick because it's just and this is the time before the top hat, as a matter of fact.
So, how long did you have the concept of yourself
Hmm.
before you became the current iteration you are?
Um, hmm. Hard to answer that question because so Otter 0.0 never made it to didn't make it to a theater near you, as it were. Um, but Otter 1.0 did, and he made it on screen a few times. In fact, on this very YouTube channel, there's a few different iterations of the original Otter. Uh, Aquastar says they've been listening at 2 times to catch up. Also, can't wait for the interview next month. Aquastar, you're are you coffee? Coffee the I'm thinking that must Star Coffee. One of my soon to be guests. Sorry, with different names it always throws me off. So all right, so I don't know why it always saves into this. Where did I save it? There we are. Okay, here we go. All right, are you ready? Are you ready for Otter 0.0?
Cute though.
Oh, he already showed up. Damn. All right.
Yeah, that's better than what my first iteration looked like.
Yeah, so this is Otter 0.0 0.0.
He
Yeah, I
looks
didn't
older than you are, kind of like Wilford Brimley and you mixed together.
Wolfer Brinley. I don't even
Yeah,
know who that is, but
you don't know. Oh, yes, you do.
nope.
Okay, it's the Quaker oatmeal guy.
Oh, okay. So yeah, you can just say that. I never would. I go by many names that appear. Yeah, Aquastar. Yeah, you. So I think you might be. Are you're Star Coffee? So yeah, sorry. So Star Coffee is going to be one of my guests in December. So look forward to that. Okay, so this is Otter 0.0, and then Otter 1.0. I showed you Toluca earlier, but let's just show the guest real quick. No. Question is, where did I? So then Otter
Don't show
zero.
them the wrong otter.
No, I'm not going to show them that. No. So this is Otter 1.0. So this is the one that I actually streamed a little bit with. And there's a couple of videos on this YouTube channel. And then I put it in the hands of real artists, and here we are. So yeah. So those are Otter. Those are the evolution of Otter. Anyways,
Yep.
enough about me. Where would put those monstrosities on the line, right?
Depends on how you fight, though. I would have to know how you fight and what your attacks are.
Go for the neck. Hey, if anybody caught the V Coco collaboration for Among Us, I go for the throat. That I was dubbed that I evolved from an otter into a wolverine. And I said, nope, I'm a honey badger because I don't give a shit. Okay, so speaking of monsters that just do not give a shit, next up, Monkey Man.
Yes, he is the other one about eating that I would probably try.
You would eat the monkey bull.
Yes, I would.
Now here's the question: do you think he tastes more like monkey or more like beef?
I don't care. It's just to assert my dominance.
Some people T-pose to assert dominance. Some people just freaking eat you. All right, where are we
He,
put? Where are we putting Monkey Man?
he's in the top. I don't know how far up. Like he's like little over halfway up the top.
Okay, so is he above gross hamburger or whatever, gross hot dog?
He's about the same level as my gross hamburger, my gross hot dog, and my little gross hot dog.
Okay,
So
so we'll put him right about there.
yeah, put him around my gross hot dog.
There's a clip you could take out of context. Okay, so speaking of things that are kind of gross, Pookie Pookie.
Oh yeah. I really don't have a strong opinion of him. I hate any animal that can poison you, so but still he's not the worst thing. He's like below, okay, he's in the bottom half,
Mm-hmm.
but kind of like not too far from the middle, if you know what I'm saying.
So hanging out with the
Like the
chicken.
bottom quarter,
Oh,
like
the
the bottom
bottom.
quarter. Let's say the bottom quarter. Yeah, there we go.
Right here.
Sure.
Okay, that
Yeah,
bottom
I
is
don't.
getting really
Oh yeah.
overloaded.
Yeah, I'm bottom heavy, baby.
The seal is starting to break. People, tase the beast.
That's very good.
You've been doing well, but I can hear the seals breaking.
There has been no like really strong four-letter words. I have not made mention to any of my anatomy, which I may or may not have. So we're good. We're good.
We need an old priest and a young priest. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Swiftly forward. Raknikadachi, the fire spider.
Just by dint of it being a spider, it's in the bottom,
Yeah, that's fair.
like pretty damn far in the bottom. And then it has little baby spiders that it puts out of its
Yep.
egg
Yep.
sac, and I'm just no,
You,
he's
you,
he's bottom.
you gotta respect the commitment, though. If you want to talk about things tearing off their own anatomy, this thing gives birth and then throws the babies at you.
Oh, isn't that okay? There's a type of critter called like a quaco or a quoc something. Anyway, and it does the same thing. The muscles
Really?
relax, and it drops the baby out of its pouch because I think it's a marsupial. And when the baby gets eaten, it runs away to live. So I don't know how to pronounce their damn name. I've only ever read it, but yeah. So the muscles relax as they're being threatened, and they drop their baby and they run.
Damn, nature, you meddle.
Yep, the
So,
mom lives another day to reproduce.
I mean, biologically, evolutionarily, that makes sense, but damn.
Yeah, usually like mothers protect their children,
Yeah.
and this one's just like
Bye
bye.
bye. You raise it.
Yeah, basically.
They have the defense of burdening somebody else with parenthood.
You try putting it through diapers and potty training and stuff, and I'll come back in 18 years and look at what you did.
Oh, jeez. Okay, moving swiftly onward. Okay, so some of the I'm gonna kind of put these guys because they're basically the same monster. They're just the mom and the dad version. So
Oh
Rathian
no,
and
they're not. They're not the same monster.
oh come
Okay.
on.
Rathian uses poison a lot more often than her husband does.
Okay, well so does my wife, but I still live.
I'm gonna tell Mrs. Otter you said that.
Please do. I'm sure she'll laugh. Uh,
Okay,
and
so
I'll notice a distinct metal taste in my next meal.
no, it'll taste sweet, almost like Jello.
Tastes like
It,
almonds.
not almonds. It smells like almonds. So that would be, but antifreeze has a very sweet taste, and when you mix it with Jello or whatever, anyway, moving on. Not like I'd know. Okay, so
FBI, we're coming in.
open up. No, I watch too many crime shows. That's it.
Okay,
I'm a
yeah. So
writer, you
so
know.
I get
Okay,
I get that. Let me have a little bit of an aside here while I put Mr. and Mrs. Rathy and Rathalos down there. So can I just tell you, my wife loves watching crime dramas, and she watches them when she goes to sleep, and I'm laying there trying to sleep, right? It's like, and then the wife murder her husband. Hello, hello. What just happened? And like I wake up from a dead ass sleep to that, and she's like,
and
don't.
it's like for the insurance money.
And she's like, "Don't worry, it just makes me relax." I'm like, why does that idea make you relaxed?
Yeah, and then you're like, I'm not taking out life insurance. And she's like, honey, but it's a good
Oh
idea.
no, she's already got life insurance on me. I've been waiting for the knife for a couple of years now. Just one day we're sitting there and she suddenly said to me, "So by the way, I took out a life insurance policy." And I'm like,
Was
"What?"
this around the time you heard the husband murders the wife out of your sleep?
No, no,
Oh, the
that's
wife
more of a
murders the
recurring
husband.
thing. That still happens all the time.
Ah,
Although
yeah.
she did recently invest in some headphones, so I don't have to hear it too much anymore. Um, but no, so we're just sitting there and just casually remarks, "I took a life insurance policy out of it," and I'm like, "Go on. Care to tell me why? Is this how I die?" And she's like, "No, no, it was included in my health, my benefits or something." Or I'm like, uh huh.
You're like, it'll benefit someone.
I mean, this was the time before the beans, so I feel like the bean's a bit of a life insurance policy for me, is because she doesn't want to be stuck alone with her. The bean is
Yeah.
great, but it helps to have a partner in this process.
Yeah, my mom was a single mom with 3 kids.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
I can't
Yep.
even imagine. Um, yeah, my wife comes out with random things like that all the time. Like I'll always remember we're just sitting there at our computers, la 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 la, tappity tappity tappity. Suddenly she turns to me, "What's your social security number?" What? Why? I'm taking out a credit card in your name. What? She's like, "So we can go to Disney World." Okay, fine.
Yes, Disney World.
We did go to Disney World. It was for our 5 year anniversary, so I can't complain. But that's not what she started. I tell her all the time she needs to remember the order of operations when you're telling a story, right?
Yeah, like, hey, I want to go to Disney World. I'm applying
Yes,
for a credit card. What is your
yes,
social security number?
yes. See, that is the proper way. Instead of just out of the clear blue sky, "Hey, what's your social security number?" Why? "I want to take a credit card out." Why? Uh,
Sure, she should have yours memorized.
I barely have my own social security number memorized. I got rejected for my first credit card because I forgot what my social security number was. I put some other random person's number on.
Well, no, my mom, when we were kids, she was like, one of the first things you have to do is you like come into your teenage years. She said, you memorize your social security number. She said, you won't always have your card. And if you misplace it, you still need to know that damn number.
It is true. I just I was not prepared.
Well, I
Anywho,
hope whoever whose social security number you had really enjoyed whatever you applied for.
it
Okay,
got
so
rejected, but anyway, Rathian and Rathalos.
okay, Rathian is lower down than her husband only because she poisons more often, and they are basically solid mid tier. But
That's fair.
he's slightly above her. He has more fire, which I can handle a bit more. The poison annoys the hell out of me, and she has the run. She does the run more often, like Diablos does, than he does.
Ah, yep, the charge.
So yeah, I don't care for that. She can miss me with that.
Something kind of like this.
Yeah,
That's
that's
fair.
good.
You know what gets me is even if you cut off Rathian's tail, somehow she can still poison you.
Yeah, and at least if that's the case, let it drip from the tip of her tail like blood or something.
Delicious.
But you know what I
Um,
mean? How is there a delivery system?
yeah, that's true. If it like splashed on you or something, I think the little spike on the chin is also poisonous. I'm not positive on that. Don't quote me on it. All right, we're getting down to the end here. So let's see here. Okay, so we're gonna jump back to way basic monsters, some of the early monsters that you fight in the game. Royal Ludroth.
Kind of like I'm like you might jump on me for this, but to me it's kind of like an Azuchi and all that. It's kind of the same vibe, but it's a little higher because it has more going on with it.
Somewhere in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I have such a traffic jam down there.
That's okay. Royal Ludroth. I don't remember if it was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I remember it a lot from Monster Hunter Try, I want to say.
Yeah, didn't you fight that damn thing underwater?
Yes, exactly. And it
And
was
yeah,
way
that's why
worse.
it's never gonna be a good monster.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying you ever need to bring the water thing back, because there's a reason I did not make it through Monster Hunter Try. Is I did that first major underwater battle against Lagiarchus, and I was just like, no, never again. Nope.
Cedric's the white sea monster. Cedric, I call him. Cedric had a really amazing soundtrack to him.
He was a cool monster, but fighting him underwater was just triggering all sorts of unpleasant feelings. Like,
Yeah.
no, 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 this is exactly the nightmare. Not again.
Right.
Because it
And
really was exactly the nightmare. Like one of the, I had a horrible nightmare when I was a young otter that the Loch Ness monster of all things was eating chickens. Like somebody put me on the edge of a pool and put a bunch of chickens next to me, and the Loch Ness monster popped his head out and ate the chickens. I don't. It's the weirdest dream, but that's the dream I had, and I terrified the daylights out of me.
well, a dream that messed up my brother is he had a dream he was swimming out in the middle of the ocean. He doesn't know how he got there, but here an eye opened up the size of a lake underneath him. And that was like the whole dream. And I'm just like, okay, no, I see why that bothered you.
So he was playing. There's a game. There's a game that you reminded me of. That I want to say it's called like the Silent Sea or something like that.
Probably.
Uh, I don't I don't know why I thought it was a good idea for me to buy this, but it was like a top down, very like the graphics was not meant to be very high end. I never ended up playing much of it, but like some things like that could happen where you just be floating along on your boat and then suddenly the an eye the size of a lake would open underneath your boat. It's like ah.
Yeah, I don't know if he'd ever played it. He just told me about that dream, and I'm like, okay, I understand why you were freaked out. I do.
There's something fundamentally unsettling about that kind of thing. Any hoozles. All right, back to something a little more somnicanth.
Well, it's a little, oh God, it's in the, I would say kind of in the middle. I don't really like it that much, so it's kind of in the, okay, you know where the line is? Put it somewhat below the line.
I think I know where the line is, and I think it's
Like, there might
somewhere in
not
this
be a line anymore.
somewhere in this neighborhood.
Yeah, just put it a little lower than the line. You're not going to be able to click on it anymore, I know, but
Yeah, there's somewhere in there.
we'll leave it there. It's not very good. I mean, it has some interesting moves, but like mostly it's just another thing that just moves around you and like
Yeah,
puts you to sleep. So,
that's fair. I enjoy like the it's got like that twirly thing on its belly. It makes me think of Poliwrath or Poliwhirl or whatever.
okay, I get you, but no, not for me.
All right, so here's one of my monsters I really like. I'm a sucker for a good armadillo.
Oh, no. Armadillos are like the devil. They're like honestly the devil. I hate armadillos.
Okay, I feel like there's a story here. Why? Hey,
There,
LMG. Welcome to Outer
there's
Space, the part of your brain that makes you think it's okay to buy a 5 pound bag of gummy bears. How are you? So,
okay.
armadillo. We're discussing armadillo phobia. So go.
Armadillos are a horrible, horrible creature. And one of the reasons I'm terrified of them is because now I don't know if the science holds up, but there were articles that came out years ago about armadillos and after they dig in the soil, how if you're like a gardener down where they inhabit and you dig in that same soil, you can get, and I don't remember what they call it nowadays, but you can get leprosy.
Oh, jeez.
And I'm just like, all the nopes in the damn world, no, no, no.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair.
and I don't like him. He has a very long tongue that's kind of unsettling
Yeah,
and
that's
not delicious like you
that.
would perhaps. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
So a little
Taser, taser.
but it's unsettling. It kind of looks like I would think an anteater's tongue would look. So it's
Yes,
kind of in the yeah near the bottom, not like all the way to the bottom, but pretty much.
like right about right here, right above Basarius.
Yeah. Plus, he has this animation where when he's trying to affect you with statuses,
Mm-hmm.
he does this weird shimmy, and it's
Yeah,
just very unsettling. Yeah, no, thank
yeah. I
you.
think my dog's done that a few times, and he always knows something bad's gonna happen.
Right, yeah, no, not good.
Okay, so speaking of status effects, let's talk about paralysis. Tobikadachi.
Okay. Oh, Toby is honestly around an ogre, but he's a little worse. So
That's
I'm
fair.
proud of myself for not calling him Kyogre or whatever.
There you go.
Yep.
Toby. Toby
Because he,
Maguire.
to me, he's harder to kill. I don't know why.
So it's because he moves around so much.
Yeah, and I guess because the other one has to charge up, he has to hold still. So maybe.
Gabrielle and LMG are discussing the merits of whether or not you can eat a blue sticker in the comments
Uh,
below.
like a regular blue sticker?
I think this might be some topical Twitter humor.
Ah,
Blue
yes.
blue checkmark sticker. I'm assuming anyway. But yeah, so we have agreed that gummy bears trump a blue checkmark, so I can agree with that. All right. Monsters. Okay. So this one for me is in the top tier only because all of his gear gives like the satiated or free meal effect.
Oh, he is really hard to fight, and he just charges you on repeat. But he's actually a stable monster, so he's kind of in the like above the line, but just
Okay.
somewhat.
Okay, would you put him
I
above or below Zinogre?
okay, hold on. Where are my Rathalos and Rathian team? He's like above them a little bit.
Just above them, but below Zinogre?
Yeah,
Okay, fair enough. See,
because he does the charging thing, and the charging thing drives me bananas.
well, he doesn't just do the charge thing. He doubles down on it. He charges you, and then he'll screech to a halt, and then do the spinny move with his butt, just wham, wham, wham. So you think the charge is over, and suddenly he's doing another attack on top of it.
Right.
So, but I like Tigrex because of his armor. All of his armor almost always has the free meal effect on it. I cannot effectively function without the free meal effect. It's usually
Oh,
got
really?
yeah, it's got either got the free meal effect or and if you don't know what free meal is, you use an item and sometimes it will not consume the item.
Yeah, but I always find that so situational. I don't utilize it at all.
See, I have it stacked enough where it's like every third item is free.
Oh, okay.
So free meal and earplugs are like I need to have these abilities on my armor. I can't effectively function without them.
Oh yeah, earplugs definitely. I totally see you on the earplugs. I totally agree with earplugs. How many monsters we have left? We're going over that sweet 2 hour mark you like so much.
The 2 hour mark is kind of arbitrary, but we are almost done.
Okay,
So
I just don't want to like take up like 5 hours of your time.
no worries. Like I said, if we're having a good conversation, I'm not gonna stop it unless it gets a little out there. But we'll be done before the half hour mark. I can promise you that much.
Okay.
Okay. Here we go. The sumo turtle kappa thing. Tetranodon.
It's the frog. I don't like the frog.
No.
I don't. It's got like really weird fur and it has that grab move. I just don't really care for the grab move. So he's probably like the bottom third of the boo area.
That's fair. So like right in this neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. All right, we're gonna speed run the last couple. Well, actually no, there's only three. We don't need to speed run. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one next. I know what you call them, but tell the audience.
Tell the audience what?
What do you call them?
Hang on a minute.
It you don't.
What is that?
That's oh, so I guess the picture's not great. That's Teostra, the fire lion dragon.
No, I would not have guessed it's the toaster. No.
Toaster, yeah, that was the name I was
I
looking
like
for.
toaster. I love toaster. Toaster is a good old boy. His wife is worse than he is, like by far, and I love her too.
Lunastra. All right, so where does
Yes.
Toaster go on our line here?
He's definitely one of the top ones.
Okay,
List me
above
off
or
my two
below?
top people.
What's that?
What are my top two people right now?
Marshmallow and Beetlejuice.
He's definitely above Beetlejuice.
Okay.
He's pretty much marshmallow level Toaster is. I mean,
Okay.
he's a lot harder to fight.
Well, he's an elder dragon. He should be.
Well, you know,
That's true.
but you can't blame him. I mean, he doesn't even have his wife in this one, and you know, when you're without your mate, it makes life hard after a
Is
while. So
Lunester not in this one? I feel like I saw it.
unless I'm wrong, I
Hmm.
never fought her yet, so
You know,
maybe
I'm
she
not sure.
is.
Maybe it's in Rise or Sunbreak, and I just haven't gotten there yet. Speaking of monsters, I haven't gotten to. I don't know if you've ever seen this one. Supposedly, it's in the base game of Rise. I never once ran into it.
Okay, what is it though?
The Crimson Glow Valstrex.
I don't remember fight. Wait, is that the rocket dragon?
I believe so. I
Yeah.
never ran into it. I've just seen like screenshots of it.
Well, I don't really have an opinion on him, so we can just stuff him in the middle. But my husband absolutely loves that thing.
So somewhere in this neighborhood for you.
Yeah, we'll just stuff him in the middle.
Yeah, I never encountered him. Supposedly, he filled a lot of the role that Beetlejuice did in World, where just suddenly there and bombs in on your game. But
Like Pickle does.
yeah, but like I feel like Beetlejuice and this guy had more just by virtue of flying.
Right.
Like they just fly into the like world, and you'd be like, oh damn. But I never had that experience, so I don't know. All right, last two, and I'm gonna do them both at the same time because I feel like they're basically the same person again.
Okay.
The Wind Serpent and the Thunder Serpent.
Actually, they're not to me. I really don't like the Thunder Serpent. I think the design sucks. I think the fight is kind of meh. I almost feel like it's one of those like I want to say raid battles, but that's
Hmm.
not what they call them. But
Yep.
one of the raid battles in this damn game, except in a large open area with the one monster. Uh,
Arena battle.
yeah, she's basically no, she's not an arena. When you try to guard the gates,
Oh. Oh damn, what is that name? Rampage.
Rampage, yeah, that. Yes, Rampage. She's like a Rampage battle, except without gates. I don't care for it, so she's definitely in the bottom half. And her husband is basically just half. Like, meh.
So kind of like yeah, and then yeah,
Yeah, he's a little more exciting and interesting, but they're basically like similar in a lot of ways,
yeah,
so
yeah. So I can just see that, and I didn't bother to include it, though there is a version where like you fight both of them at the same time, and then he dies and she eats him, and she becomes more powerful,
okay. Yeah, no.
and the very praying mantis kind of thing.
But we
Uh,
don't do the apex, so it would
no,
make sense just to leave it like this.
yeah. So all right, well there you go. There's your two. That's I believe that's all of them. So these are all the
Oh, we
monsters.
actually made it.
We did, with the except the only one that's not currently on the list is the one we threw off into space to never be seen again. So if
The
anybody
poo
dreams,
serpent.
yeah, if anybody dreams of a poop flinging snake monster, that's Toluca's fault.
Yes.
Yep,
And you're welcome.
you're welcome. All right, well that brings us to the end. So Toluca, do you have any parting words for our lovely audience?
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I hope I didn't overstay my welcome.
Nah, never.
And I hope to see some of you at some point, but please do remember if you find me down the road, I am not usually a PG-13 turtle on my streams. I am very AO, not in the fact that I have like let's say specific types of art I display. It's just the way I talk. I
Toluca has
say
a mouth on her for sure.
yes, very, very much so. And if you think the F bombs are like the worst thing out there, I am like 5 degrees worse than that and 7 degrees over. So I swear a lot, but I talk about publishing and disability justice because I am physically disabled. I am a wheelchair user. I have cerebral palsy. So a lot of disability justice and like minority like activism issues are very much my wheelhouse, and I will tell you about poetry and all the things that probably bore you to sleep, but I play games terribly and I love it and I craft stuff and I hope to see some of you there, but thank you so much.
So if you don't already follow Toluca over on Twitch and on Twitter, go ahead and do that. I got her links posted right on the screen there. So please give her a little bit of love. She's one of the first VTuber friends I made. So Toluca be dropping atomic Fs. Yes, LMG, atomic Fs. She's more creative with them. Like she uses the language in ways you wouldn't really think of necessarily. Um, but Toluca, thank you for being my first real live guest on broadcast from outer space. I appreciate you coming, and just may check you out. Gabrielle may check you out. Yes, do check out Toluca. She's a good time, and she took in an otter off the street that just saw her playing Monster Hunter and was like, "Can I play? Please, ma'am, please."
Yeah, you literally, that is how we met. He was just in my chat and he's like, "Can we play together?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, I have no compunctions like letting my audience play if it's a game that can do that, as long as, they are not, using some of the language that I do not tolerate. And that is when you're hateful toward other
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So,
yeah. The true bad stuff. But
yeah, yeah.
but yeah, so she accepted a lonely otter off the street, and so Toluca's a good time, a good person, and so once again, thank you to Toluca Turtle for being my guest. Thank you to my lovely audience for coming and joining us for broadcast from outer space. If you want to be a guest on the show, go ahead and hit me up at Twitter at Oddter. And until next time, everybody, remember to be oh, there's my hat. Odd out loud because it's a lot more fun. Good night, everybody.
Hey, thank you.